I thought you said you couldn't get in, was the point.
I know, it's like Queen Latifah.
And we might be live again. There was an error. When we are live, I am seeing something maybe potentially change on the computer screen. There's probably a 15-second delay or so on this live stream. Let's hope that is the case. We are live allegedly on YouTube here, watching the Cowboys and the Giants theoretically play one
now we
whole
are working.
game of football. Are we working? Oh, the audio sounds good. Let's keep the audio going. Let me see what happens when I go, whoa, what a play by Dak Prescott. Let's see how that sounds. Because I changed.
You got to get that out of your system.
No, because in our last episode when we went live, I had the audio settings to audio regulate the audio. So whenever I screamed too loud, it just muted my mic, basically. So I'm hoping that now that I've changed a few of the settings on the streaming platform that I use, that it works a little bit better.
Okay.
That is the plan. Well, I think it is a hot day in New York near MetLife. We are listening to the national anthem right now. We will keep you in queue with where we are in the game. We're going to be mindful of. We might see thunderstorms tonight. But we will keep you.
It shows rain on the fantasy app.
Yeah, I saw lightning in the forecast. We might have our rain delay for the first night of Sunday Night Football and opening night, week 1 of the NFL season. Cowboys at the Giants is what we're watching live. Who is that? Is that
Queen Latifah?
Queen Latifah?
Hell yeah!
I can't believe all you people are sitting like a bunch of Colin Kaepernicks while Queen Latifah is pouring her hearts out for the red, white, and blue.
To be fair, I support Queen Latifah, just not
not enough to stand
the
up.
NFL or extreme patriotism.
Yeah, I'm like 98% of other Americans. I just sit around during the national anthem.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Honestly, if I know it's coming at a sporting event, I'll try to get out of my seat to go to the bathroom so that I don't
avoid the awkwardness.
That way I'm I don't have to deal with this nonsense.
To walk during the national anthem.
I think I tried.
Rude, I don't know.
They're interviewing Dak Prescott right now.
Yeah, can we turn up? I know you hate the volume being picked up, but can we get the little bit more volume on the TV?
Yeah.
I would like to know
if you could turn on the subtitles for us, that would probably help too.
The subtitles would be incredible.
Goddamn, producer Natalie, what do you not know your job?
I can't. If you don't give me the proper tools, I can't do my job.
No, you're right. As I was saying, I think we started the episode. It failed to start live. We reset it, and now here we are. So my name's Jamie Jakes. I am here with What Are You Talking About with Jamie Jakes. I'm also here with Miles, Francis, Raiden, and Natalie. Natalie will Natalie will represent our serious, hardcore football fans in the room. Miles,
if my understanding is correct, Natalie's one clip on your channel is the highest viewed clip of any of your produced content.
You are mistaken. You are mistaken. My clip has the highest views and engagement, but Natalie is top 3. Nice. So she does know ball. Just earlier today, we were talking about Bobby Wagner, about how she brought it up. Back on the Seahawks. She was like, wait, I thought Bobby Wagner was on the Rams. She was
That's a lot of waterfall in this guy.
That is a lot of waterfall.
Nice.
Can't feel good if you started any of the players.
To the game, becoming a student of the game. We love to see
is
it.
Darren Waller suited up? Is he playing?
Darren Waller is suited up. He is good to go for tonight's matchup.
I wish he wasn't.
He was.
Yeah, I think he's going to be an absolute problem for the Dallas defense.
He was questionable leading up to this game with a hamstring injury, but it sounded to be a lot more like hamstring tightness than anything. And he looks absolutely fantastic.
I'm hoping we learn tonight that he's very overpaid, because I'm playing against him in fantasy football, and I just don't want to see his stat line go anywhere, honestly.
He did get traded to the Giants this offseason. The Giants acquired him from the Las Vegas Raiders. Making a lot of money, a little bit older. That's why it was concerning when we heard they had a little bit of hamstring tightness. Daniel Jones lining up in the backfield.
Daniel Jones is the worst looking quarterback in terms of intimidation factor. They just showed him and Dak side by side, and it looked like honestly, I'm not a bully, but I got a weird instinct to punch that guy.
You know who else was? Yeah. Eli Manning. Guy's got 2 Super Bowls. I rest my case.
Oh, dude, Eli Manning is unstoppable.
He does.
When we get here, ask Richie, please. In fact, specifically remember this. It'll be funny. When Richie joins us, he's running late. Please ask Richie why Eli Manning is so unstoppable. Say that sentence specifically, please. That would make my day.
You can't. He's got that it factor, the X factor. It's what makes
my God,
a
X factor.
star.
Daniel Jones, people forget he is immobile. Oh, and he got hit
what
late
a
right
hit. That's
there.
going to be a flag.
Flag on the play.
Cowboys started out strong.
They came out and he really sent a message right there.
I learned recently that the Cowboys are ranked number 1 in most hated fan bases in America. So, number 2 is the Patriots.
Patriots.
14:20 on the clock.
The Lakers. People love to hate the
Personal
Lakers.
foul, unsportsmanlike conduct, late hit on the on the Cowboys against Dallas Clark. That'll be an automatic.
Unnecessary roughness
Donovan
on
Wilson
the
not
first
suited
play
up
of
for
the
this
game. This is a good rivalry, guys.
People really forget, just because like you guys were saying how Daniel Jones is a very punchable face.
Yeah.
People forget how fast he is, because he doesn't look like he would be a man who's fast, but he is.
He's
But
absolutely
like again,
quite
even
zippy
though he
out
just
there.
did that, I still feel like nobody's intimidated by his presence.
You don't have to be intimidated
And that's
to get
part
lit
of
up.
Daniel Jones's charm, really, is that you can't really be intimidated by him, because look at him. But at the same time,
He looks somewhere between like a Mormon and a Boy Scout leader. Like
but he's not even a Mormon. He played at Duke, which isn't a Mormon school. So
dude, I wasn't implying he was actually religious, but he sure
there are actual
he looks
Mormon-
like he lost his virginity while one of his friends was jumping on the bed to make the friction happen.
That doesn't count.
Micah Parsons on the pressure
Just
there.
soaking, okay?
counts.
It's just soaking.
Shaking, it's soaking, it's not
It's fine.
intercourse.
I saw-
13
That's not the Satan's business at all.
13:44 on the
I
clock.
saw a meme today,
Yeah.
and it said it was at a BYU game, and the guy was wearing a classic university-style T-shirt that said "I soak," and I thought that was a really bold choice.
What a look.
So cool.
What a friend, too. Oh.
If you don't know what Raiden's referring to, Google it or whatever. Saquon Barkley on a big run, 13:19 on the clock.
The Mormon activity of soaking.
Saquon Barkley was my very first round draft pick that I ever took while playing
fantasy
fantasy
football?
football.
Wow.
Yeah. So he'll always have a special place in my heart as someone who got injured in week 2.
Hey,
Yeah, and he's all the way back, coming off of that ACL injury a couple of years back. Saquon Barkley appears to be very efficient.
incredible running back.
He's got one of the greatest pieces of merch I've ever seen. It's the Sega logo, but it says Saquon instead of Sega, and I've always been very endeared to that.
Saquon Barkley
Going
on
back,
his own read to the right
there's a lot of room if
outside.
he got through there.
He's upset. He's going to break
He's
his
really-
hand
really
on the
feeding you that
turf just
nostalgia,
because
huh?
he's so upset
What's
about
that?
not
The
breaking that off for
Sega,
100
Saquon?
points.
Yeah, you know, like the old school blue where it's
Yeah,
like
I'm
it's like
familiar,
with Sonic
yeah.
like running through it. It had that, but it was like Sonic with his jersey on
The
it.
Sega at my
Yeah.
grandma's house that I used to play. Dude, I had some great games.
What's your favorite Sega game?
Killer Instinct was real good.
That's a great choice.
The Desert Storm one, the Apache, where you fly
Where you
around.
fly
and
the
then
little
Apache-
helicopter, dude, yeah.
I think it's called Operation Desert Storm.
I was always terrible at that game, but I played the hell out of it. I was too aggressive, and I would get shot down really
Oh
quickly.
yeah, you got to be careful because you
You
just
gotta
go
be
around
patient.
dropping. You get the 3 types of bombs. You get the atom bomb, the hydrogen bomb, and then like your guns.
Sure.
Man, you really just, and then you forget you only have a certain amount of the big ones.
Well, and then as a kid too, I was just dumb. Well, I mean, still am, but like I was younger and
You
dumber.
know, you didn't develop the strategy to play games later.
I never like understood the mission concept. Like I just wanted to fly around and destroy. It was almost like how I played Rampage. Like I didn't realize I had like a goal. I just wanted to have everything fall down.
And that's video
classic
game
game.
talk here on this football podcast.
Sorry, Jamie.
We're live on
hasn't been happening.
on Sunday night. The game hasn't been happening. That as
They've
far
been
as you
introducing
know.
the players.
I've been watching.
Meanwhile, the Giants are almost in the red zone.
You know, you can talk about other things while you're watching the game.
Yeah, dude.
The
Maybe you've heard
podcast
of the
is, what
most
are we
popular
talking
video game
about?
franchise of all time, Madden.
I'm just concerned that maybe the people who are tuning into this live stream,
How many people did I just
maybe
swap?
even 2. We had 2 likes leading into the. I don't know. There's probably, hopefully, 0 people are listening. So you guys just talk about whatever you want. But
All right.
We're just having a
Sorry,
good old time
I
here.
misspoke. What was your favorite football game on the Sega Genesis? Because mine was Troy Aikman football all day.
Oh, I had the NCAA one. It was back when like
Careful, Jamie's looking angry.
I'm not angry.
it was back whenever they had
Daniel Jones timeout. Go ahead and talk about your favorite Sega game. Take your time.
So the University of North Texas their mascot is currently the Mean Green.
Yeah.
But they used to be the North Texas State Eagles.
Were they named after Mean Joe Green? Is that why they changed their name?
They took the moniker. Yeah,
that's a smart choice.
He's a very endeared graduate.
The only good player to ever come out of there.
Well, Dan Fouts also came from University of North Texas.
All right.
And then
Mean Joe
Stone Cold
Green.
Steve Austin played his football at the University of North Texas.
Oh, hell yeah!
What?
Also, the guy who played RoboCop, Peter Weller,
Oh, wow.
In which iteration of RoboCop?
the good one.
Well, now we're talking about RoboCop. Let's steer the conversation back to football.
Good call, Ray.
They used to be the North Texas State Eagles, and the game that I had on Sega was the old logo of the North Texas State Eagles. So that's how old the football game
Feels
was.
like Saquon has had 10 attempts on this first drive, averaging about 3.5 yards per carry. Yeah, and speaking of which, we are recording live here in Dallas, Texas, which is why we're having so much North Texas talk. Go.
Also, the Sega
GMG.
Genesis was invented in North Texas.
Really?
Look
No,
at that.
I have no clue. I'd assume Japan, actually, would be my guess.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I was like, I knew we had margarita machines, but I didn't know. I didn't know
It's
that.
all football, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, if it wasn't for football, we would never have invented frozen margarita machines. Daniel Jones on the move again.
Daniel Jones has been, between him and Saquon, they're running this ball effectively.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Daniel Jones is the leading rusher tonight.
I would, after seeing Saquon get 14.5 touches.
Yeah,
on the
I was
first
going to
drive.
say, I would put my money on Saquon. And honestly, I think tonight's going to be an interesting test of Tony Pollard. There's been a lot of faith put in Tony Pollard. He moved way up in the fantasy draft this year. Obviously, Ezekiel Elliott's gone, but I think it'll be interesting to see if he can carry that load.
Yeah, a lot of big fantasy football questions that are going to be answered tonight. How much is Saquon going to be used? Is Daniel Jones still going to run the ball? Which on this first drive looks like Daniel Jones, a great rusher from last season.
Dak is another person that I think this is a big
make or break season
Make
for
or
Dak
break season,
in
100%.
fantasy football and otherwise.
I
Flag
agree.
on the play, 9:15 on the
Yeah,
clock.
you think if Dak doesn't have a deep playoff run this year, they're going to make a change at quarterback?
I think he needs to make the playoffs.
I mean,
this
I
year.
don't think they're bringing it. They brought in that guy from San Francisco.
Trey Lance.
They're at least making efforts to put on some pressure to say, hey, we're looking at other options.
Yeah, but he's still third on the depth chart behind Cooper Rush, though, correct? Or is he the back?
Well, I
direct
mean,
backup?
Cooper Rush got more wins last year than almost Dak, so.
Yeah, I'm not super optimistic about Trey Lance. I think that's more of a shot in the dark by the Cowboys. They liked him in the draft. They had him ranked as a second. Oh, no, bad
Oh, wow.
snap. Daniel Jones falls on the snap, and that'll go down as a Micah Parsons sack. An empty Micah Parsons sack that he doesn't even deserve. Just kidding. He's
Is anybody
incredible
playing with
pass
individual defensive players fantasy this year, Jamie?
Micah?
No, just in general. Are you in a league that plays individual?
I'm in 2 dynasty leagues that play individual defensive
Micah,
players.
I feel I've never played that. That's beyond my level of comfort with football knowledge. But I would say, just off the top of my head and what I know about it,
A lot of
Micah
turf.
Parsons would have to be one of the top choices in a defensive individual player.
So he's
fantasy league.
typically the number 1 individual defensive player to go off the board in dynasty drafts. Oh, blocked kick.
Whoa!
He's gonna
Blocked
scoop it. He
dribble.
scoops it.
This is going to be 1 point if they
Runs
return.
it back, and he's gonna run it. No, he's gonna run it. He's gonna take it all the way
He's
back.
got
Goodness.
it.
Blocked
Oh,
kick.
fuck! I'm playing against the Dallas Cowboys defense.
Oh no! Blocked kick, return for a touchdown on Sunday night.
Flag!
No
No flag on the play.
No flags. What a play
Good
by the
news
Dallas
is Daniel
defense.
Jones is going to get another shot because he is going to get the ball directly back again.
It's another turnover by the turnover leading
I just
Dallas
went from
defense from a year
32
ago.
to 7% with that Cowboys defense touchdown.
Yikes. Oh, that is just
Wow.
a total miscue. Jumped on the inside. When you are blocking in special teams, another great block to spring that.
Need to have him work on his kick step.
And he
then
missed the extra point.
The Cowboys kicker struggles absolutely are going to continue this season, and it absolutely breaks my heart.
Second missed PAT on the night. Great block to spring that
But that was
return
only-
for a
only
touchdown
the
on
AJ
special teams. And then on the other side, in classic
in the
Cowboys
day of football. I was
fashion,
like, I am
What is the
confused. What
Cowboys
that?
deal with kickers, dude? Like, they had that whole situation last year at the playoffs.
We got cursed.
on the other side, in classic Cowboys fashion, after a massive special teams win, a massive special teams loss. But nonetheless, Cowboys leading 6-0 here in the first quarter with approximately 8 minutes and 3 seconds on the clock. Right over here, y'all can see a generic scoreboard. This is our live scoreboard. According to Google, it is going to be a little bit behind our broadcast.
Is that what we're seeing here?
Yes.
That is what we're seeing live
dude, the
here.
technology is cool.
So
dude.
yeah, I could even
production.
check. If you love technology, Miles, check this out. I could even roll down and pull up live stats for the players live here on YouTube. Imagine if I had a producer being able to do this for me. How cool would this show be, right? And then we.
Wow,
We're
dude.
really putting you in the hot seat there with the.
Who?
The
No.
cool thing is, whenever Natalie divorces you, you can have Caleb move in, and then you'll have a full-time producer.
That would be cute.
That would be cute. That would really.
Everything Caleb does
Wow,
is
making some
cute.
assumptions about a life right here.
That would really save Caleb a lot of gas
We're
money,
not
which I would be all
guaranteed
for. So, shout
I
out to
dated a girl
producer
for
Caleb.
6 years and decided not to do it.
I'm still calling him amateur producer for now. I'm not gonna lie. He's got work to do.
Life can change at any moment.
Amateur producer not here tonight. Was invited for the record. Not here tonight because he got called into work, a job that he allegedly does not want anymore.
Yeah,
Caleb.
but they won't pay him if he doesn't keep going in. Is the issue?
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah.
Well, generally,
Right.
that's how it works.
Why can't just I be a good person and people give me money?
Dude, do we want to dive into politics? Do we want to dive into politics on this show? Because I've got
No.
ideas.
No.
I'm running for I'm running for
It's not
president. Can I announce that here?
I just want to be nice and have people give me money.
Oh no, my response was going to be.
If anyone wants to know what Natalie is talking about, tell her to talk into the microphone.
Why, where's your fourth microphone?
Do we have a fumble on the play? Jamie Jakes here. Seems to
If you had Jamie Jakes on your fantasy podcast team this
that's-
week, you are not looking good right
taking
now.
a hit there.
We've got a late start and a spill on the fucking production.
I don't think we even started late. I think we got this opening kickoff.
So we did a whole introduction that they didn't hear because we weren't live.
We did do a whole introduction. It was sweet. If you are actually watching
Yeah.
live or in hindsight with us here on YouTube, I did have a sweet intro that was
non-functional.
totally missed by everybody because I don't even think it was my fault.
He was
I
testing
think
it
I clicked
earlier.
the live stream button, but it failed. There was an error
was like,
message when I
This
got
is a
back.
pattern, though. You had an epic reaction to a Lions touchdown.
I sure did on Thursday night.
Thursday, they got completely missed.
Oh yeah, tell me all your feelings about the Thursday night Detroit Lions victory over the
I think
defending
the Chiefs
Super Bowl
are a great
champion
football
Chiefs.
team. Thank you for asking, Raiden. I think the Chiefs are a great football team. I think the Lions are the buzzsaw that ran over Chiefs in that trap game. Lions are really good. Jared Goff looked as good as he looked when the Lions went on that massive run late on in the season. Amon-Ra St. Brown looked 1 year better as a young, rising wide receiver. That Jahmyr Gibbs looked absolutely incredible. And guess what? We hit on every single one of our first four draft picks. The tight end Sam Laporta looked incredible with I think 5.
Oh, what a lob! Oh, put a
Daniel
fall.
Jones barely gets the ball away.
Fall
7:59 on the
harmlessly
clock.
to the ground.
Jahmyr Gibbs looked incredible, even though they held him out for a lot of the game to get him acquainted with the game, even though he seemed to be getting the game acquainted with him, when he was on the field. Who else? And the linebacker Jack Campbell looked incredible, first round draft pick as well. And the steal of the draft, it appears Brian Branch played incredibly well the whole game, and of course had that iconic pick six, the first pick six for a
Cowboys
rookie.
have 23 fantasy points right now on
Already,
defense.
they're gonna give up some touchdowns here from Daniel
Yeah.
Jones, and that number's gonna go down by the end of the game.
Honestly,
Ooh.
it's really not even worth it to watch a defense as the game's happening because it just makes you sad because it always starts off high and then just makes its way down.
Yeah, I would highly recommend just diversifying your assets in fantasy football, getting in a lot
Time he said that sentence.
Diversify assets.
in fantasy
Are we
football.
getting?
like
Is
a-
this also
a
an
phrase.
economics podcast?
It is, honestly. This is the economics of fantasy
Jamie, do
football.
you want to talk about Bitcoin now? It's a great segue. Thank you.
Yeah, honestly, Cardano, Bitcoin, Dogecoin,
What an absolute play.
Link Chain, all great
But
assets that I think
Thomas.
everyone should invest in. What do you think, Raiden?
The more you talk about that, the more I actually want to watch this football game.
Okay, I will.
To be honest, you should invest in.
Oh, that
Sacked by Micah Parsons. His second of the game. He looks absolutely incredible. On a tear in his third season,
Remember
I
how
believe.
adorable he was on Hard Knocks when he was just a rookie and he was being like telling his coaches he wanted to play more and they're like, no man, you're too good, we need to save you, and he's like, but I want to go play now, coach.
Lined up at left end.
Yes, I remember.
Double teamed.
Look at this, dude.
Just bounced inside pressure. Daniel Jones literally
Just so
never
agile, so
had a
strong.
chance. Maybe Saquon could have chipped him there, but how could you see that
They wanted that second block.
streak of light go past your face and actually be able to react to it? Great bounce on the punt. Looks like the Cowboys are going to start their drive on the 26-yard line with 7 minutes and 6 seconds left in the first quarter. What an exciting start.
Yeah, that Micah Parsons sack, he came in there on the left side doing a hard stunt, and the center blocked him, and he was so fast, he just dipped under and just ran by as the center tried to reset his block. And that's something you can't really teach that. That's absolute hustle, tenacity.
That is absolute hustle and tenacity out of Micah Parsons. And we are going to see how much hustle and tenacity Mr. Dak Prescott is going to have for the first time in this NFL season. How do you think he's going to do, Raiden?
I'm a big fan of Dak Prescott, to be honest. I have to believe in something for the Cowboys. If it's ever gonna come to fruition for us to even sniff a
So
championship.
he's saying he's a masochist.
You know what? If you love what you do, you never work a day in your life, okay? So
You're gosh darn right. And Twitter is absolutely a-buzzing about Micah Parsons has 2 sacks already in the first half of the first quarter. The first eighth of
First
this game.
eighth, dude.
what an absolute
And
animal.
you know, usually you can fit an eighth in 1 sack, but he got 2 in.
Oh, that is a drug reference out of Miles Francis, and that's why we have him. And that's why we have him on the podcast. Absolute Electric Factory. Good job out of you, buddy. But yeah, like you were saying, Raiden, if it's not this year, when is it going to be?
Yeah. If who, why not us? When, why not now?
Why not now?
I've always liked Dak personally. I think he's a good dude, and he seems like
Right.
I want him to do well. But as a football player, he has been disappointing every time I've tried to be like go Dak.
Well, that's really the knock on him, and that's why he's got so much global hate, is because whenever he is on the big stage, it appears that he kind of crumbles, whether that's just unluckiness, just luck of the draw, or that's him actually crumbling on a big stage. I don't know, but if you play for the Dallas Cowboys, maybe you should be able to perform on a big stage. I don't know. And it is raining pretty hard. Jerry Jones looks like he's put on a few pounds from this angle.
Yeah,
he's
dude.
looking a little hefty.
Apparently, he's got enough money to eat 3 meals a day.
I guess so. Looking pretty thick. That must just be a bad angle of Jerry, right?
Yeah, now he's got like a
Hologram
nice.
Jerry looks pretty shredded.
Now he's got a nice little, pillow for those Ardmore strippers he likes so much.
We are recording live from Dallas, Texas. We know the area. And here's our first view of Dak Prescott on the field. Tony Pollard to his left in the shotgun. Tony Pollard goes out, and that's that
Right
Jake
to
Ferguson.
the
Yes,
tight
it
end.
is.
Yes, sir.
Second year Jake Ferguson, a guy I benched for Isaiah Likely, who got, I think, 0.7 points today. I think that's Jake Ferguson tying that. I also played Dallas Goedert, who I think got goose egg today in replacement of Jake Ferguson, who on the first play of the game has already surpassed that. So good job out of me in fantasy football. You should definitely listen to everything that I say.
Yeah, but anybody would make that choice with Dallas Goedert.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that's just how
Eagles
it
is a win.
goes.
It's a win. They didn't look quite as dominant today against the New England Patriots as I think a lot of us would have liked them to look. I haven't seen who's leader in fantasy points as a quarterback, but I think just off the top of my head, Baker Mayfield, definitely Tua outscored him. Jalen
Tua
Hurts.
did
Tua had an absolute monster day today.
Tua, I should have played Tua. And
Over
I
400,
haven't.
If
over
Tua
400
plays,
yards.
if
3
Tua plays
touchdowns.
all 17 games this year, he is on pace to have an absolutely massive record-breaking season in the NFL and in fantasy football. He'll win you a championship, it looks like. Dak Prescott floats the ball up to a wide open
Oh, makes a move.
CD Lamb.
What? Look at him. Damn.
Down inside the 15.
I felt good about my play with Trevor Lawrence today as my starting QB, but Tua sat on my bench under him and definitely outscored him by 10
Both
points.
had a great game, though.
Yeah, I won regardless, so I'm not that upset. But I've got, on my other league, I've got too many quarterbacks and not enough running backs. So I'm hoping to find the trade block to give somebody an opportunity to take one of my elite quarterbacks and return for one of their elite running backs.
Cowboys line up in bunch formation
Jake
on
Ferguson
that play
again,
and have
making
a
the play.
Yeah, Ferguson again getting in the mix.
Wow, really?
Probably should have
stretching out
started
there.
him. At least I have. I don't think I dropped him in many leagues to pick up likely, but yeah, it appears that Ferguson will be a massive pickup in the waiver wire as our neighbor turns on his air compressor on Sunday night. What do you think about that, Natalie?
Sounds typical. Do you want to finish closing it?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and complete that task.
And I hope everyone else at home, his neighbor is turning on their air compressor at 7:46 at night on a Sunday to make you feel at home. What do you think, Raiden?
Like the air conditioner compressor unit, or like it's like a
No, I think they're just
Tank-
blowing up tires
like to
next
blow
door.
up tires. Oh,
Yeah.
No, I think it could be an air conditioner thing.
You think so?
Potentially.
Yeah, it kinda sounds like it.
And I'd rather seek to understand than assume they're being assholes.
Yeah, I guess.
you know, I mean, they probably might have gotten home recently from their big day out on Sunday.
No,
Their
because
Sunday
they've been
fun day?
doing that. They've been doing that all day, and I've been here all
They
day.
have been working in the yard.
Oh,
Dak Prescott, ball in the back of the end zone
Is
to
that
guess
a-
who? Jake Ferguson.
wow. Jake
Broken
Ferguson
up.
really is going to be one
It
of
looks
Dak's
like he's
favorite
going to be a
targets.
target. Looks like he's going to be a target.
Yeah, that's 3 targets in the first drive of the first quarter. Puts him on pace to what? Like
You think it's because he's larger than the other targets, so it's like easier for Dak
Generally,
to hit?
yes.
Yeah. Why not? Look at him.
I feel
and
like
those
Dak-
sweet Jordans.
Dak's
Oh,
always
he
been,
almost got that.
Dak's
almost
always
came
been a
down
big
with
tight
it.
end guy.
That's fair.
And that's why he's been such a good fantasy target. Jake Ferguson, as Dak has been a. CeeDee Lamb lines up in the fullback
Boom.
position.
Oh,
Oh, dang, took a real
Number-
hard. That's Cavante Turpin from our very own Fort Worth TCU.
it's always so impressive to see people get hit that hard and be able to hold the ball and not have it.
That's
Go
And
all over
I
the
did lock the cat outside, so I'm gonna let the cat in.
Oh no! Look at her little face.
Oh, look at that poor
But look
cat,
at him
dude.
get hit that hard, and
Oh.
it just the ball doesn't budge out of his arm.
Football's a violent
Can you
sport.
imagine?
Yeah, it hurts.
No,
Not by
and maybe
that level,
sometimes people forget.
but it's crazy.
Ouch. Hi, Milo.
What's that little meatloaf?
They're using a different air compressor now. You can hear go. Psh, 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 psh,
Oh
psh.
well, you know what?
Yeah, maybe that is. Maybe.
So far, it looks like they're playing very safe short pass game, but like it's been good and consistent. They're making a couple yards of play.
Early to speak of playing about.
This is gonna be a big third and goal coming up.
10 p.m.
7 plays, 72
7:48,
yards.
Pretty early.
It's a little bit more efficient than Dink and Duck, Mr.
people already
Miles.
even
That's
know what they're
over
at.
10 yards of play.
Tell me I can't be loud.
You think? I mean, it looks like every 9 of those 10
Maybe they got
plays
things
have
to do.
been short passes to the tight end.
I think
They're using
Deuce
heavy
Vaughn just
equipment.
ran off the field,
They
which
probably got
means
things
Deuce
to do.
Vaughn was on the field on this drive. Pretty exciting for those Kansas State Deuce Vaughn fans out there. Dak Prescott under center. 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line. CeeDee Lamb in motion. Pressure on Dak, and the ball gets swatted down. Maybe a fumble.
I think they're going to rule that an incomplete pass on the field. They're blowing the whistle.
blown whistle, blown dead on the play. That'll be 4th and goal. Cowboys will kick a field goal.
It's kind of like when you accidentally hold on to the ball too long when you try to throw it.
Sure.
Just chuck it right in the dirt. It's quite embarrassing if you've never done it before. Could have it with a baseball, a football, a softball, anything you play catch with. Yep, classic. Hey, forward pass it was.
That's good news. Brandon Aubrey.
Oh
on the
boy,
kick.
let's see if we can make a field goal here.
Missed an extra point already today.
Oh dang, here we go. I think he false started.
He did kind of lean forward. Anger did before.
He's got an awkward trot
It's a
up to the ball.
awkward-
He sure
Yeah, really.
does. I think they said he's an MLS, retired MLS
Look at that
player.
It's like the replacements. Love it.
It is like the replacement. It's like the guy that got smoked a lot of cigarettes.
He's whiter.
I had
Whitey,
I went
yeah.
to a school that was not known for football. In fact, we were known for losing a lot at it. But in high school, we had our kicker was a one of our soccer players that they just brought in. Is this a new trailer for Aquaman 2?
In my high school, our kicker for our football team
Yeah.
was actually a girl on my soccer team. Shout out to Erin Dresser from Nashua High School North.
Shout out.
I can't wait to watch this movie,
Aquaman and what?
The Lost Kingdom. It's the sequel to Jason Momoa's
What's your
Aquaman.
Instagram handle?
It is Great Value Aquaman, separated by
I was
periods.
literally about to say you look like you're just excited because you're gonna get more work if there's a third movie.
I do. I get a lot more time to cosplay and dress up at festivals, or get. Yeah, I like to stretch out this resemblance to Jason Momoa that I have.
Meatloaf is eating chips and I saw her dip it in the salsa. I swear to God.
so smart.
I swear to God.
Above average talented cat.
Look, tell me there isn't salsa on that chip.
Our cat came from the outside where I locked her out of there with the air compressor, and she came straight inside and started eating our chips. Our cat's name is Meatloaf, and I'm getting several notifications. Oh, J.K. Dobbins tore his Achilles today. Baltimore Ravens plan to activate Melvin Gordon from the practice squad to the active roster, so there you go.
Wow, a legacy name there.
Probably
Been around the league a little bit.
Yeah. Probably Gus Edwards season over there. Justin Hill, I believe, had a couple of touchdowns today for the Baltimore Ravens. And what else happened today? The Cleveland Browns won, absolutely dominated the Cincinnati Bengals. It was a little bit of a weather game, but guess when the next time they play is? The last game of the season, Week 18, December in the Midwest. It's going to be another weather game, so go ahead and count that as a win for the Cleveland Browns. The Browns will win the division.
My butt's asleep.
Your butt's asleep. Natalie's going to go on a break, and we'll go on a break at the end of this quarter. We've got a couple of weak butts in the room.
Are you excited what you saw from the Cleveland Browns today?
They looked incredible. Deshaun Watson looked definitely up and down. I think fantasy-wise, Deshaun Watson, not worried about him at all. In real life-wise, maybe a little bit concerned about Deshaun Watson and a couple of the easy passes he made. Granted, it was a weather game, but also there was a lot of instances where the weather had kind of cooled off, and Deshaun still was skipping passes to Elijah Moore. But came out super healthy. Conklin, the right tackle out of Michigan State, perennial Pro Bowl, went down with like an MCL, maybe ACL. Who cares? We got DeJuan Jones, who I think is an upgrade anyway in the long term. Rookie, I think 4th or 5th round pick. Cleveland Browns hit an absolute home run out of that guy. Almost 400 pounds. Played extremely well in the preseason. We were thinking about kicking him out to left tackle already. He was playing on both sides to back up Jed or Conklin if either one of them goes down. So if that's the only injury we have coming out of week 1, Jerome Ford also looked like a mini Nick Chubb. That Cleveland Browns offense is just going to be so fast.
Oh,
Along with their defense was super fast. And that was the real story of the game was Jim Schwartz, who I was kind of down on as a hire this offseason as Cleveland Browns defensive coordinator. Held the Bengals to, 6 points, essentially 3 points the whole game.
On the back
Yeah,
of
Joe Burrow had 82 yards today, his career low.
Dude, 2.18 points. It was the worst fantasy.
Yeah,
He did worse than Aaron Rodgers in week 1 last year.
And that's a big credit to Jim Schwartz and his new defense, and that just might be what it's like playing against the Cleveland Browns, because everyone says, kind of like when Stafford was in Detroit, everyone says Myles Garrett is the best end in the game, but he doesn't always get the most stats because I don't think he's always been in the best situation. And I think this is the first good situation Myles has been in. Also going opposite of offseason acquisitions, Darius Smith, absolute steal of a acquisition as a veteran. Closed up that interior defensive line, and that defensive secondary has been lights out for a couple of years now at Cleveland. That Cleveland defense, big story of the game, and it seems like Nick Chubb is just going to run for 2,000 yards this year. I don't know. That's just the vibe I get. Have any other questions about the Cleveland Browns?
No, I don't have any more questions. I do have one question on your fan loyalty. Are you more of a Detroit Lions fan based on where you're born and raised, or are you more of a Cleveland Browns fan?
This year, definitely more of a Lions fan. I became a lot less of a Lions fan when Matt Patricia was head coach for like 6 years. That kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah.
But now we got new ownership. Now we got new GM, new head coach, new quarterback, and it feels like a whole new team. Ball tipped in the air!
up.
And that's going to be another pick six by the Dallas Cowboys.
Fuck you, Dallas Cowboys
Wow.
defense.
Look at the
Jesus
defense.
And
Christ.
Miles Francis just lost his week 1 matchup in fantasy football.
Dallas Cowboys defense.
2 defensive touchdowns for the Dallas Cowboys in the first quarter of this game in some weather. A block 6 and now a tip ball pick 6 off the hands of, I think, Saquon Barkley.
Didn't secure.
Honestly, that was more Stephon Diggs. He put his helmet right on the ball, popped it up for 26, takes advantage of the opportunity that is given to him, makes the catch, and runs it in for a touchdown. The Cowboys now are winning, what is it, 15, hopefully 16. Hopefully they don't botch
We
this.
should just go for 2.
The MLS kicker kicks it right down the center.
Split the uprights.
Don't know if we lost audio. Don't know if our mic's back on. If anybody wants to check YouTube. Our mic just got disconnected. I don't know how long ago. Yeah, you probably did. It's okay.
Minutes live?
Things happen.
No, I think we just lost audio.
Oh, with audio. Got it.
What is it saying?
It might have just been for a second.
Oh, we're still on.
We started, but we did have audio.
We're good. It's all good.
Well, that's good news. I think we just lost audio for a second. You can turn that down, please, Natalie.
Sorry.
Thank you.
My bad.
That's okay.
It's okay. We're just getting a little feedback action here.
Yeah, no worries at all. I think I caught it pretty quickly. I think I saw it
Yeah, you did good. We're not even at the end of
almost
the first
exactly
quarter,
when it
so
happened.
It's not like
so
we
that's
had the
the
whole
good
game.
news.
Heck yeah.
That's a lot of people.
It's three
That's okay.
times as many as Thursday, dude. We keep going at this rate. We're gonna have fans by the end of the season. We might have 3 digits by the Super Bowl, dog.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I had like 36 subscribers today out of nowhere after having 29 for like 2 weeks straight.
Heck yeah, I'd love to see it.
And you only made 6 new email accounts this week, so that's impressive.
I told one of my friends who does comedy, who has a podcast, like, yeah, I have like, at the time I had like 12 subscribers. He's like, oh yeah, my podcast has like 75. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Like, how'd you do it? He's like, well, we haven't posted anything yet. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I just had all my friends, they have all their Gmail accounts subscribed to my channel. And I was like, oh, I'm sure that's not going to fuck your algorithm or anything. Having none of your subscribers consume any of your content
But yeah,
whatsoever.
like all subscribers, no engagement.
Yeah. There's this one trainer at my gym. He shall remain nameless, but he has 48.7 thousand Instagram followers, and he gets like 220 likes on his post.
No way.
Yeah. It is.
Something doesn't add up.
You love to see it. New York Giants, 31 seconds left on the clock, punting the ball away. Have been absolutely useless outside of their first drive where they handed the ball to Saquon Barkley every single time.
Oh.
Is Daniel Jones's career over after his massive rookie contract year this past season?
I mean, he's not going to intimidate anybody at the negotiation table either.
That's why you have a sports agent. So you're
That's
bidding
fair.
for you.
Not with that neck. 21 seconds. There's a 30-second commercial, and then we'll be mercifully done with this first half. Oh, honestly, a horrible first half.
First quarter.
First quarter. Oh my gosh. This has been tough to watch. We are
college
probably going to
basketball game.
regroup, have a quick bathroom break, probably come back with some more adult beverages if we're going to make it through the rest of this game. This is pretty rough, Raiden.
My butt hurts.
As a Giants fan or as a Cowboys fan?
Just as a football fan.
See, I feel like,
I like to see
everybody
a
who's
really
a
good
Cowboys fan
defense.
is probably really enjoying this a lot
I'm
right
excited.
now.
I'm excited for what the Cowboys are doing on defense right now because this is like one of the better defenses we've had in recent years due to the speed and just absolute intensity of Micah Parsons. You know, the security blanket of Leighton Vander Esch. And then our secondary is just playing absolutely lights out. Unfortunately, we don't have Donovan Wilson, number 6. He's out with an injury this game. But
Who is the person on Dak's jersey on his left shoulder? It's on the front left. He's got
It's
a
a Walter
patch.
Payton Award.
he won the Walter Payton.
To sum it up before we go to break here, yes, if you're a Cowboys fan, you're absolutely loving what you're seeing. If you're not a Cowboys fan, you're probably a little bit disappointed by opening week Sunday Night Football.
The absolute terrible play by the New York. But the Dallas Cowboys have taken advantage of those to the utmost capacity. It's exciting to watch. So, but you know, maybe as a football fan, you see some sloppy play here, and you don't like to see that.
It is exciting to watch. We'll be right back. And we're back with football. Dak a deep ball to Brandon Cooks. Pass interference on the play.
I'm not trying to kick her out. I just want to, You good on audio?
Yeah, I think so. Sure, no real way for me to know for sure, but yeah, I think we're live again. Another incomplete pass to Jake Ferguson, second-year tight end. Obviously, the number one tight end in Dallas over Luke Schoonmaker, a high draft pick for the Dallas Cowboys. If you drafted Luke Schoonmaker in your redraft league, you will be dropping him after week one, his lack of production. Dak Prescott lined up in shotgun. Tony Pollard, who had a quiet first half because he didn't really need to do anything in the first quarter. I keep on thinking this is the second half. Lord help us. Dallas going quick, lining up here. In shotgun, Tony Pollard to the right. Dump off to Tony Pollard on third down. Appeared to go down by his shoulder pad or his face mask. No flag on the play. And it'll be a fourth down. Dallas will have to punt. Daniel Jones will come back on the field. Seems like Dak Prescott's still out there. Watching the replay here. A bit of a flood concept to the right side of the field. Dak Prescott checks down to Tony Pollard. He gets gobbled up by a couple of Giants defenders. Fourth down and 3 on the 37-yard line. Dak Prescott over the middle. Pass is caught. Big takedown, but Brandon Cooks holds on to the football for a Dallas Cowboys first down. 13:29 left in the second quarter. 30 seconds left on the play clock. Now we're watching the replay here. He knew exactly, Brandon Cooks did, where he needed to make it to for that first down. He knew he was probably going to take a shot because his quarterback, Dak Prescott, was going to leave him out to dry. He held on to the ball anyway for a first down. It appears we got the backup running back in the game for a strong run.
Was that Pollard?
For a first down. No, that was the backup. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he was a pretty valuable late-round pickup if you had him. Not as big a name as Deuce Vaughn, but appears to be the number 2 there for the Dallas Cowboys. Dowdle is his name, Rico Dowdle.
I don't think it's Blaine yet.
4th season. That might be Richie Miles' friend if I had to guess.
We have another addition.
Fullback checks into the game. Off to the right. Dowdle in the backfield. Dak Prescott under center. To the weak side, handoff to Dowdle, and he gets a 2.25 yards.
Wow.
2 minutes, 15 seconds.
That's a nice stiff push by the
Mr.
Giants
Ritchie.
defense there.
Hello. We have our next podcast guest just arrived here just in the nick of time. Mr. Ritchie, y'all's microphones might be on, they might be off. I would check them. I'm going to flip them to the on position, ideally.
You can actually sport Cleveland today, I saw.
Yeah, I can sport Cleveland. I can sport my Lions merchandise as well.
He's a loyal underdog.
Yeah, absolutely. Just tenacious with the loyalty there from Jamie Jakes.
Dowdle with another 1-yard run.
it's been.
The fun thing for me is I have a lot riding on this and tomorrow night's game, and I was worried about players like me having Stephon Diggs and them having Waller, but it's actually the Dallas Cowboys defense that currently has 35 fantasy points in right now. Would you like a beer, by the way?
I don't know why you wouldn't expect something like that from the Dallas Cowboys defense. They had the
Dude, I predicted
highest.
that would be great.
They had the most turnovers last year. Easy.
Glad Ron's already got a pick, because that's my guy right there. So I like that. Carson's got a sack already, and it's good.
2 sacks. Oh,
Oof.
Nice little bounce pass from Dak Prescott.
No, it hit him. No. It hit him right in Jake Ferguson's hands. He dropped it for a first down.
You think so?
4th and 8. That'll bring out the field goal unit. Cowboys looking to go up 19 points in the second quarter. Man, it sure would be awesome if the Giants came to play this football game today.
Yeah,
Bounced right off of hands
right off of his knee.
Jake Ferguson.
Boink.
Sorry, did you say it would be awesome if the Giants were playing?
Yeah.
No, it would not be. They wouldn't need to play at all.
Yeah, that's what Raiden
Yeah,
said.
I understand as a Cowboys fan, but as a neutral fan of the NFL and the game as a whole.
So my
Nice about it.
Jamie doesn't care about the Cowboys at all. Raiden's a Cowboys fan. I just want my fantasy players to do well. Diehard Cowboys fan over here. But I will give Richie credit. He is one of the most realistic.
I've never.
diehards.
I don't know the last time I predicted them to win the Super Bowl, if ever. It's like
How do you think this team's going to do,
You
Richie?
got to stay hopeful, though.
probably losing the first round of the playoffs.
Okay,
Ooh,
so a playoff run. That's good.
I'm gonna,
I grew up
Losing the first round of the playoffs.
I grew up a Lions fan, making it to the playoffs. I mean, we've made it to 2 playoffs in my whole lifetime. 1-0. The last playoff win I think we had was when I was -2 in '92, back when Barry Sanders was still playing.
The biggest problem.
And which team beat them last time in the playoffs?
I blocked it out in my memory. Either the Saints or it was the Cowboys,
It was
probably.
the Dallas Cowboys.
They may have made the playoffs after that. I just don't remember.
It was the Dallas Cowboys. You are
It was
correct.
Dallas
Biggest
Cowboys,
issue with
if
what
I
you
remember.
said.
Go ahead.
The biggest issue with what you said, a conversation that Richie and I have had privately a lot about, is that the Cowboys constantly get to the first round of the playoffs. So it's like, as a Lions fan, I see your point. You're like, oh my God, how great would that be?
To make it to a
but
playoffs.
As somebody that constantly gets to the first round of the playoffs, as a Cowboys fan like Richie, it just means that you get shit draft picks and you end up mediocre the next year. Like,
You're
over
absolutely
and over
suffering
and
from
over.
success.
Well, that's what's even worse about being a Lions fan is you get great draft picks every single year. So every single year you are convinced that this awesome draft pick is going to lead you to a Super Bowl.
So when
And
your delusional fan base says this is our year, you actually buy into it. When this delusional fan base say it, we're like, sure.
there's a whole meme, like before memes were a meme in the Detroit sports talk radio called cornbread. And every single year you started around this time you started eating your Detroit Lions cornbread. And it was like a drop on the radio. You got to get your cornbread. And every single year we were disappointed by all the cornbread that we were eating in the off season. But this is the Lions' year. It's a new ownership. It's not owned by the Fords anymore. It's owned by the Hamps. Sheila Hamp is what they call her in the front office.
Yeah, do you know what kind of industry that she's from?
What?
I don't. I'm asking you
Laundry.
genuinely.
Hampers. As she
Oh.
she owns Big Hamper.
Really?
No, I'm joking. She married the Fords.
Oh.
I don't know if that's true. I don't actually know the lineage of that whole situation, but I can only assume that what I said is accurate. Anyways, Sheila Ford Hamp is an absolute weapon, and I'm excited to see her grow as an owner and see the front office, who just absolutely murdered the draft this past season already, looking in after the first game of the season against the Kansas City Chiefs, who looked like they needed an interior lineman and looked like they needed a number one target on offense, just saying. But
They're talking about the Odell catch here. What do you think about Odell Beckham Jr. today? He looked didn't look washed up to me.
Catch out of bounds, too.
Odell's catch?
The one that they posterize everywhere.
No.
No, I think it
That
was
was
They did out of bounds on that
No,
one. They just keep playing it because
No, it was a.
He was also interfered with, so if it was out of bounds, it would have been a spot foul anyway.
Yeah, first didn't do a goal. New set of downs,
I
but
feel like he got more fantasy value today than I thought.
How did Odell do today? What was his stat line? I didn't watch the Ravens game at all. Didn't have it on from the beginning
I
of
had
the game.
I had Damian Pierce, who was a huge letdown on the opposite side of that game today. So I did watch a lot of it. Odell had more he got a lot of catches. I don't remember his.
He caught a few targets too. He did not drop a couple, but he had a couple that he missed.
Oh boy,
Wow,
interception. Sorry, Miles.
I know at this point I want to.
Oh my goodness.
So here's the problem. With
Stephon Gilmore.
Here's the problem.
Defensive
with
player of the year.
The Cowboys' offense has really done nothing.
Nothing.
They've got one lucky throw to CeeDee Lamb. So this kind of.
They haven't had the ball.
I mean, Dak has had a couple passes already.
Odell didn't do great.
They got to do better on offense and get something going.
Just okay.
No, he did bad. He got 3 targets for 2 receptions for 37 yards.
Well,
I guess they highlighted the hell out of it on TV.
Yeah.
they sure did.
Hey, that's TV for you. There was a flag on the play. I'm assuming it was offensive holding. That's going to go down as an interception.
Yeah,
this game's horrible.
I was concerned about this hit being like maybe a little late, but I guess he's still in the air. I don't know. This is on a quarterback in this league.
Feeling pretty good if you've got the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh,
defense.
that's
Caught
an
it.
interception by Stephon Gilmore. Nice acquired defensive back from the New England Patriots in
I
this
think the good
offseason.
news about this is we're going to get to see some Deuce Vaughn very early
That's
on.
what I've been looking
Yeah.
forward to. That's when I heard they put him in on down by the end zone on my way here. I was like, yes! And then I took him out. I was like, oh.
We are going to see.
Richie was, I'm sorry, Deuce was one of Richie's recommended sleeper picks for me for our draft. When he was like, if you get late in the round, you see that guy available, he's one I'd keep an eye on.
I don't think that's good advice, but
Dak going in the middle of the field.
Injury
Very
history
nice.
already on-
well, Dowdle's the number 2 there.
Yeah, he is.
So you just recommended in a 14-round draft to take a running back 3.
I said keep an eye on him.
When you
He said late.
okay, I guess.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take him in a draft. I would keep an eye on him for sure if in case somebody goes down for the Cowboys. But
If you're winning your games and you're high up in the league, he's gonna
I think
play.
Josh Kelly is a guy for the Chargers who got a lot of touches today. I know Eckler had a massive game, but I believe Josh Kelly was on the field a lot more
Eckler's
than we
an
were
absolute
expecting.
Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
Eckler, you just like hate when you are when you're playing Eckler and the Chargers are on the goal line.
Very nice. Cavante
Is that Coop? Is that Cook again?
Devontae
That's
Turpin.
Cavante Turpin.
Oh, that's Turpin.
former Horned Frog.
Along with Cooper Rush.
Really? I didn't.
Wasn't Cooper Rush a TCU guy?
No.
Why did I think that?
Josh Kelly.
Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
He's on the Cowboys. for
Yeah,
years.
maybe.
Did Eckler go down with injury today? Did I miss something? Because Josh Kelly got 16 run attempts.
What was the score of the game?
No, it was close. It was a close game. They lost.
Yeah, it was
Chargers lost.
36-34. Lost to the
So if you have
Dolphins.
Josh Kelly, you got to. Oh, Dak Prescott misses
Just missed CeeDee Lamb
misses
there.
CeeDee Lamb high in the end zone. 19:21 left on the clock.
There's the problem with the Cowboys, right there.
I would love to dig into what exactly happened in that Chargers game to make Josh Kelly get 16 touches. Because if that's going to be a norm, that would be pretty sweet if you have Josh Kelly. Also, why aren't the Chargers throwing more? It would be my second
No
question.
notification on anything injury related, just a solid game.
Yeah, so Austin Eckler got 16 carries, but he got 5 targets. So I wonder if they were on the field at the same time.
Maybe that's what
Josh Kelly and what are their snap percentages? Would be my next question between Kelly. They don't have the snap percentages posted yet. But yeah, watching that game. Oh, Jake Ferguson on the lead block. Dak Prescott out to the left on a run
makes a lot of sense.
pass option. Richie, you didn't like that play call?
Absolutely not.
Okay, tell me why that play call sucked.
Why
I would
are
love.
you running your super expensive quarterback that has a history of leg injury, recent history of leg injury? When you said that,
Turn the microphone to his face.
I'm sorry, usually I'm loud enough on these things.
You probably are.
That makes no sense. Like, give it to Ferguson, throw it away, do something. All
Second,
these weapons, come on, you don't have to do anything.
I tend to agree with you. Just give it off to Tony Pollard if you're going to run the ball.
Yeah.
Seems to be pretty effective against this terrible Giants defense. Seems like the Giants have wholly regressed, or the Cowboys are who they should have been for the past 4 years with this roster, which is just a dominant offense. Maybe
Doesn't look like Pollard's been getting a lot of action yet.
Doesn't feel like he's gotten nearly as many touches. But yeah, just like Richie said,
This is showing as the scoreboard big, and you guys are able. Is that what you want?
no.
Scoreboard. Goal line offense. Oh,
There you go, Pollard.
Just brought him up. There he goes.
That's an offensive drive. There you go.
That's gonna pay off on
something
the
that
graphic.
something that I like with that was he was patient. So Pollard waited for something to open up and then just got through, which is the only thing he can really do with this size and how small he is.
Tony Pollard touchdown.
Play the waiting game.
And this game is pretty much over before it even starts.
Yeah, there's barely a second half to this game already.
It's alright, it's the Cowboys. They'll give some points back.
I sure hope so. As someone who
For my fantasy sake.
as someone who traded away Daniel Jones for a first-round draft pick in a dynasty league, a Superflex dynasty league,
Who won that?
starting to feel like it.
Who won that? Did you get to draft with that draft pick yet? Or
Not yet. No, it'll be next year, which is even better because next year's draft class is super stacked, and I expect it to be a rather high draft pick. So, liking where that is. I also have Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts in that league.
Oh, nice.
So I didn't need him. And now I have Dobbs for the starting quarterback for the for the Cardinals, the Arizona Cardinals, who
In the league that I'm not in with Jamie, the other league, it's all comedians. We made pretty heavy fun of somebody for drafting the Cowboys defense as they're picking the 7th round. That is starting to look like a genius play after they play the New York Giants opening night.
that's so funny.
That's some 4D chess right there. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you're like-
Laughter.
You got to have a lot of guts to even start the Cowboys defense against the Giants, who had a great offense last year. And 8 minutes left in the second quarter.
What are you talking? I mean, they have such a good cast of guys. You've got Saquon Barkley, the guy that took a stand against the whole team this year for $1 million. So, I mean,
Yep.
their heads are clearly screwed on right.
And Tony
People
Pollard.
said they don't have Eli anymore.
Tony Pollard was the only one to voluntarily sign the franchise tag as running back in the NFL this season. So there is that you do have to consider. Saquon Barkley has honestly been the only shining star in this game for the New York Giants.
That's not true. Daniel Jones has been doing pretty well.
Daniel Jones feels like he's been doing absolutely horrible if we pull up his live stats.
His running alone, his rushing stats. I mean, he's got almost.
Evens out his turnovers.
Yeah. the turnovers have not largely been on him. Like, for instance, it was a blocked field goal attempt in the.
But didn't he just throw a pick a little while ago? Then he did throw a pick to Bland over there. That's Stephon Diggs.
That's one though. That's one.
Daniel Jones is 6 for 1 for
6 for 1 is incredible. That's 600%.
nope, six attempts for 1 completion
That's 1 for 6.
for two interceptions. He has run for
You feel fractions? That's not how fractions work.
But no, they called that one play by Trayvon Diggs. That ended up just being past the hole, so that was a pick.
Alright, whatever. Daniel Jones definitely looks better than his profile picture against Dak did at the beginning of the game.
No, I disagree with
The
you.
fact that he looks Mormon as hell. All right.
He's had a horrible game. He has negative points right now. He's 2 interceptions.
What's his QBR?
Got to be really
Yeah,
bad.
but that one play to Saquon went against him. That
Yeah.
was ruled an interception. Not his fault, but still showing on the fantasy boards as an interception.
Sure is. It sure is.
Brought this up on Thursday. Has any team utilized the fair catch on a kickoff yet? I have not seen it. We think that potentially all NFL coaches are just protesting.
I haven't seen anybody use it whatsoever
What,
yet.
the one where you fair catch inside the 25 and you
Miles,
get
if
it
it
at the
makes
25?
you feel any better, I am losing in my matchup that I was supposed to be winning in because I am also playing the Dallas Cowboys defense.
Wow.
So we are, kindred spirits. But the scoring system in our league is kind of jacked up because they've only scored 20 points so far.
Yeah. Honestly, that was actually something I meant to bring up with you. So I brought up to you guys both separately. You two have taught me more about fantasy football than any other two people in the
That's terrifying. 'cause
Like
I'm not good at it.
I've only played. This is my third season, as you guys are. Well, no, second season. Second season. No, third season. Third season.
You said third season.
Second season in the Dinosaur Keeper League.
Yep.
Third season overall. But yeah, you guys have taught me more about anything. And what I think is really interesting is just how many different variances of rules there can be. Jamie, one of my favorite rules that I've never seen anywhere else that we do in your league is the playing against the median score.
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk about that because I think it would be something that would irk the fuck out of Richie. And I just think it could be funny. But like, basically, I just think it's interesting. There's so many variances of how many like ways you can score in fantasy football, and it really does make a huge difference.
Yeah, and I am particular about the league. Like, I'm the guy in the league. Like, if you invite me to your league, I'll join it. But I'll also argue for rules that I want to be put into place, like, well before the season starts. I'm like, let's put it to a vote. Point per first down.
There's a reason Jamie wasn't invited to our other leagues.
I was invited.
He's not funny.
I do like the
That's what I thought when you said it was a comedians only podcast.
I actually turned down that invite. I was invited.
Okay.
I did. It's true. I did. I turned it down because it wasn't on Sleeper. It was on ESPN, I think, and I said,
No, I held strong for Sleeper this year. That's the truth. Dude, that's another thing. And actually, Richie's going to have some stuff to say about this. Richie got fucked out of 2 leagues, one of them being because it was on Yahoo, and that's dumb as fuck. The only good thing that ever came on Yahoo is Season 7 of Community, or Season 6 of Community, or whatever it was. But
I love that show.
6 seasons of the movie.
Hell yeah, but no, honestly, the Sleeper is the best fantasy app. People just need to get used to that at this point.
yeah, I honestly don't mind Yahoo too much.
But it's the way that this particular league was set up. You had to pay. It was like a random league, so you had to pay before you joined the league.
In the app?
So I didn't have the app. I got sent the invite because who uses Yahoo, right?
Almost took a tumble.
Used it once years ago. So I got the link to the website, and it had to authenticate my profile, and it asked me for like
you see
all my
my toe?
personal information. I have a Yahoo account already. I shouldn't have to enter that.
I broke it.
And when I finally get in there, for 5 days, it said that it was still verifying my account, essentially. So I had to get kicked out of the league and then re-enter, and I still couldn't add funds to actually pay for it. So I ended up getting kicked out of the league an hour before the draft because it wouldn't accept it.
There we go.
So I hate Yahoo. I hate Yahoo as a company. Now they're on the list.
Yeah, the only app that I would trust putting actual funds into would be the Underdog app. The fantasy football best ball app. They also have daily fantasy. Promo code JAMJKS. Get your initial investment doubled.
I do like the idea of points for first downs, though.
My whole argument for point per first down and 6-point passing touchdown is how much is a touchdown worth in real football? 6 points. How much is a receiving or a rushing touchdown worth in football? 6 points. So have a 6-point passing touchdown because that's the real value in real life. And there's so much more of a value in real football to have a 3-yard run for a first down over a minus 3-yard reception.
Yeah.
And if you're playing point per reception, you get 0.7 points for a negative 3-yard reception, and you get 0.3 points for a first down run for 3 yards. It just like...
I like the strategy of that idea.
Oh my gosh, they almost threw... Daniel Jones almost threw another... Is Daniel Jones broken? What the hell is going on?
The Cowboys' defense is decent.
I guess. Not this decent. Jeepers creepers.
Have you been listening to all the stuff Parsons was doing in the offseason? Like, Parsons trained like a beast this offseason. He said that he does not want to finish second place anymore in defensive voting and in sacks, and he did all this additional training. And the
Yeah.
jacked up with Gilmore being added. And apparently they've been going nuts in practice and tearing up Dak.
Yeah, there's a lot of professional athletes and a lot of professional teams who are working really hard in the offseason, and this is pretty embarrassing for all the Giants that worked really hard this offseason for this performance. Jeepers creepers. Daniel Jones rolls out to the right.
He's more scrambly than you're giving him
They
credit
pushed him
for.
forward for a couple extra points.
This is embarrassing.
I like the whole idea and the strategy behind, I could draft a third down running back that's going to get me a point, and even if he only gets 3 yards, like you said. That adds a whole other strategy to it.
Yeah, Yeah, it does. It does inflate kind of fairly the running back value, and it kind of evens it out to, you know, who's really being productive on the team and who's just getting volume. Like, you know, Leonard Fournette in half-point PPR last year, even though he was horrible as an actual asset for the football team, ended up still being running back 8 or whatever just because he got 42 dump-offs.
So is that the most important goal, is to have your fantasy points mimic how much of an asset they are to their real life?
In my opinion, and that's my argument for 6-point passing touchdown and 6-point and point per first down, is that your team should mimic actual value over just overall volume and kind of gimmicky dump off
The
stuff.
quarterback is the most highest paid
Exactly.
position, and that quarterback should be
And that's
the
why
highest scorer every single week.
I like super flex leagues too, because you have to start 2 quarterbacks every single week, or a third, you know, other flex option you're forced into, because it kind of forces you into valuing quarterbacks, especially in the dynasty format. If you don't have a good dynasty quarterback in a super flex division, you are having a tough time.
And I'm glad I'm not playing fantasy this year, because I would have wanted Nick Chubb real bad. You know, I would not want to take him.
You want to fantasize about another man?
Nick Chubb.
A man named Chubb.
Oh,
Nick Chubb had a great game. Daniel Jones rolling out to the left again on 4th and 5. He rolls it over the middle and he catches it. Darren Waller.
It's a nice little cross.
Well, whatever. Get all the points.
It's
For
a
a
nice
first down.
cross-body throw by Daniel Jones.
The Cowboys defense already beat me. Waller can do whatever he wants at this point.
Athletic.
I think I benched Waller for likely today.
He made his one catch, so now he's going to be out for the next 3 to 5 weeks.
So I really excel at best ball. I'm not quite as good at like not so deep redraft leagues where you only have one flex option. I am not very great at figuring out who to start each week. I'm really good at figuring out who to draft. That's kind of where I excel.
I think way too hard about it, go back and forth, and I always end up making the wrong call.
Yeah.
There we go. That looks like run defense. That's what we do this year.
Yeah, sometimes you're better off just sitting back and just, you know, not looking too much into the questionable tag, because at the end of the day, nobody really knows who's. Because I mean, honestly, I was expecting for the Baltimore Ravens, tight end for the Baltimore Ravens, Mark Andrews, to start today with the quad injury, but he didn't. Kind of late notice, so I kind of pivoted last night onto likely in a couple of areas that maybe I shouldn't have. Although Giants haven't been very productive. Also, the other part of that decision was we were supposed to have bad weather for this game, and the weather seems to have cleared up since what the forecast was this morning.
Yeah, it was raining pretty heavily earlier, as we saw on our broadcast.
That's why I wanted likely. Yeah, I didn't watch any of that Ravens game. All I saw is the stat line, but seemed to be about as bad of a game as I anticipated it to be, if that makes sense. I don't know.
How do you guys feel about tight ends in fantasy football right now? I feel like in the last few years, it's such a scary position to get people in.
Well, the thing about the tight end position in fantasy football is you have 3 guys that have the same amount of points as the bottom, you know, however many are picked in your league, depending on your flex options, by the entire rest of the field that's in your league. Those top 3 guys, you know, you have Mark Andrews, you have obviously Travis Kelce, who leads it every year, and then you have, you know, George Kittle, possibly, you know, Darren Waller a couple years ago whenever he was really putting up some productive numbers. But
Yeah,
if you don't draft the tight end, like, sort of unfairly early, like if you're gonna take Travis Kelce in like the 4th or 5th round, I'm not gonna. He's gone in most leagues.
Yeah.
He went first round in both leagues.
This year he went first round in virtually all leagues, like early first round, even after he went down with his hyperextension injury. This will be the first game he's missed since 2014, Travis Kelce. Yeah, we've had like 3 or 4 or arguably 5 like high-end tight ends in fantasy football over the past 5 years. Travis Kelce maybe aging out according to a few beat writers. Doesn't look quite as quick in the preseason and in training camp as we would like him to look, maybe. That's just word on the street. Who knows if that actually comes true.
We haven't seen game action. We talk about practice.
He is injured for the first time in a while, and he's aging out. He's 33 years old, I think, this year. Getting pretty old. Already talking about when he's going to retire. He's going to retire when the wheels fall off, and maybe now is the time. Who knows? But yeah, Travis Kelce has been top of the pack. Mark Andrews has been injured the past couple of years, starting this season injured, super disappointing. TJ Hawkinson may be a guy, Darren Waller may be a guy who can kind of break himself into the upper echelon. But after you're done with the first 5 or 6 guys in the draft this past season, just wait till the last round and literally just pick up Jake Ferguson, who's gotten 8 targets this game already.
That's something a lot of the Dallas fans have been talking about this year. Is what we're going to do. We don't have Dalton Schultz anymore. And I'm like, that guy was garbage. I don't. What's the big deal about
Dalton
that?
Schultz was an incredible athlete. Made some incredible circus catches when Dak needed him most. So
who's he playing for the Texans?
I won't take any Dalton Schultz slander on this on this broadcast.
He paid way too much money for what everyone wanted to give him. Let him go.
It's kind of like a Hooper situation where
had one really good season, then no more production.
Yeah,
once he left,
that might be what we're looking at with.
Yeah, because once he left Atlanta, I drafted him not terribly high, but he was my tight end choice, and he had absolute terrible production when he came over to the Browns. He just didn't get enough targets because of David Njoku, who's just the number one tight end
Dalton
choice.
Schultz got 4 targets, 2 receptions for 4 yards today.
Wow, that's
with a rookie quarterback, so you do have to take that into consideration.
Quarterback should be thrown to the tight end more than for the safety.
You would guess,
but he get 4 targets all game. I mean,
I don't know if.
But he's on. You say he went to the Texans this year, yeah. So
yeah, I mean the Texans are not. They're not a Super Bowl contender. I
don't know if Stroud necessarily threw to anybody today. Stroud threw the ball 44 times today. Welcome to the NFL, rookie. We're going to have you throw 44 times in the first game in your NFL career against the Baltimore Ravens.
How many of those were completed?
28. No interceptions, which is the most impressive.
That's actually a
What
lot
was
of
the yardage? 28 completions.
242. So
Less than 10 yards.
5 yards an attempt, but he didn't throw any interceptions, which is the most honestly surprising part of that stat line going up against the Baltimore Ravens.
Parsons again or no?
No.
I just assumed.
Yeah, if you're playing the Cowboys defense in our league with our scoring system, you're screwed.
That's who I'm playing.
Yeah, because our scoring system, it's so nerfed. Defenses are so nerfed. As dominant as a game the Cowboys defense has had so far, they've not scored nearly enough points for how productive they've been.
Early, obviously, it's literally opening weekend or whatever, but this could be a record-setting defensive score in fantasy football for the whole season. This is gonna win. This is gonna win a lot of people a lot of fantasy football matchups this week, even if the Cowboys come out and score 20 points in the second half. Daniel Jones looks horrible. I'm just going to say it. He looks like one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL again. When he's passing, he looks good when he's scrambling.
He's missing the face. You've got to have that really
His
weird,
face
goofy
sucks,
face.
dude.
He
His
looks
face
too
is
symmetrical and too perfect.
I said he looks between Mormon and Boy Scout leader.
He's got to have an Eli face or he's not going to do anything.
Why do you like Eli so much, Richie? Is it because he's unstoppable?
Like Citizen Echo Drive.
Dude, Jack, I said that earlier, and they're like, yeah, dude, Eli was such an X factor. And I was like, he said that. I'm not even kidding.
1:16 on the clock. Daniel Jones drop back and shotgun pump fakes, scrambles, gets pancaked in between 4 Cowboys defenders. 4th down, the Giants are probably going to kick a field goal, get some points on the board
How dare you kick a field goal?
for the New York Police Department. Brian Dable looking not quite as cheery as he did. Are we really going to commercial break right now? Oh, Dallas Cowboys have to call a timeout because they're going to try and put more points on the board. Holy moly.
Your offense got to get some practice in somehow.
I guess. I hope we see some Deuce Vaughn this drive.
We need another touchdown that maybe after half we'll rest Pollard and let the other 2 get in there.
So they're going to kick a field goal to stay 4 scores down, or what? They'll be so they can go.
So three scores and a field goal. That'll get the lead.
Yeah, what a horrible game.
They got to make a field goal first.
I can't wait for tomorrow night. Bills against the Jets. I got a lot of fantasy football assets in that game, including Garrett Wilson. I think he's going to be the #1 wide receiver this year. Justin Jefferson had a great game today. Christian McCaffrey had a great game today, but I think as far as like first round or second round assets go, Garrett Wilson's going to be one of the best values that you're going to get.
Now, I've been angry at fantasy the last week, so I haven't been paying attention.
Missed it.
Thank you. That's minus points for somebody.
Graham Gano, I think he just got extended to a massive contract too. He just got paid like $16 million guaranteed or something like that as a kicker.
You see shit like that, you just wonder if the impractical jokers are on the sidelines like, all right, now kick it wide left.
Bad snap, but the holder seemed to get it down. I believe that's Jamie Gillen still playing for the Giants, if I'm not mistaken, the punter over there now in New York. What an absolute shit show. Not a great snap. Ball was down.
I'm excited about this personally. I know we're not allowed to talk about anything but football.
No, you can, Miles. I mean, it's 26-0. Take it away. a horror film on our commercials.
Remake of The Exorcist, dude.
Oh, cool.
It's actually kind of like a sequel in a weird way because it's one of those like legacy franchises. They bring back the mom from the beginning, the first one and this one.
Is it still Pazuzu?
I believe it will be Pazuzu, but I don't have confirmation on that.
Do you think it'll give me nightmares?
You personally, yes, but not nearly as much as like the downfall from your Lions win in Week 1 is going to.
You think the Lions are on their way down? I think we got the Seahawks, who I think lost their opening game to the Vikings. Did I get that right? Who the Seahawks play today? Not the Chargers. I think the Seahawks played the Vikings. Am I crazy?
No, the Vikings.
Vikings played the Buccaneers, lost to Baker Mayfield.
That's right. Seahawks lost to the Rams, who, speaking of Baker Mayfield, looked really, really good today. And Puka Nacua, who we already kind of took a couple victory laps on. I think my post from pregame on Twitter is going pretty hard right now on my account as far as receipts go. But yeah, a lot of pessimism in the fantasy and football community around the Rams this offseason. Sean McVay didn't come back for another season for no reason. I think we found out today. I think those Rams, Matt Stafford's still Matt Stafford. I think Matt Stafford today took the football and was like, I've done a lot more with a lot less playing for the Detroit Lions my whole career, especially after Calvin Johnson retired a little bit early. He carried that team for several years and took them to a couple of playoffs when they never really should have made a playoff. So if Matt Stafford stays healthy, when Cooper Kupp comes back off of IR, hopefully healthy, coming off that hamstring injury, I think we could see a fun, cute little run out of the Los Angeles Rams. Back to football. 1 minute, 5 seconds left on the clock.
Please ignore the police.
Deep ball. Caught out of bounds. On the left side of the field. 1 minute left. Now we're looking at how quick the Cowboys are getting pressure on a couple of these plays. Under 3 seconds for Daniel Jones. A nice solid pocket. Of course, the Giants only rushing 4 guys in this day ball led defense. Again, Dak in the shotgun, looking to score again. Would be really cool if he got sacked or fumbled or something like that. Tried to dump it off to Tony Pollard. Didn't get anywhere. 3rd down and 10. Maybe the Giants get another opportunity. Maybe Grant Gano gets an opportunity to kick a super-duper long field goal. We will go on a break. The platform I use is not allowing me to loop videos, which is a little bit of an issue. So I might try to refresh, and if that doesn't work, we might give up on this stream for tonight, because let's be honest, this football game sucks. You know?
It's not great. It's not very competitive.
Fan days, yeah. There's certain things. Remember how you felt on Thursday?
Like,
There's a bunch of Cowboys fans feeling that way right now.
well, that was a close game.
Yeah, that was an
a
exciting game to watch.
Yeah, the Cowboys look great, but I think this is more of a symptom of the Giants just looking absolutely atrocious on opening week.
On their home field, too, like, against their former coach.
And Richie is having the time of his life. Richie's like, don't let this stop.
Who's for
This is all I have to live for with the Cowboys. I don't have fantasy, so.
Yeah.
Is it fun being able to just root for your team again without having to worry about who they're
Oh, I
playing
think I'd probably be
against?
playing this Cowboys defense just like you guys are.
Yeah, I would not have in a million years. I was starting the Washington defense. I was starting the Ravens defense because who they were playing this week. But if you started the Cowboys defense, man, or honestly, who would have guessed the Browns defense would have done as well as they
I
did?
literally thought Burrow must have got hurt, and I looked. Oh no, it's
They were working on his knee a lot. I think that knee situation has been a little bit underplayed. He looked super uncomfortable. Granted, he looked super uncomfortable after his appendix surgery last season in the first 4 weeks, and it seemed to work out for him pretty well. But, man, that Cleveland Browns offense looks pretty unstoppable. Giants are probably going to take their last time out of the half right here. 50 seconds left on the clock. Going to get a punt, maybe get
get a fumble on the punt. I think.
a good return or whatever. We'll see what happens.
Let's let it snowball. They should have just taken a knee, let it go to the half, regroup, refresh.
He looks like he's sorry he's having to do this. Like, looks down.
You
Like,
seen him his whole career? He should be sorry
awful.
he's doing it.
When he was drafted,
Dak has swagger despite having had no reason to have swagger. Like,
when that guy was drafted, Daniel Jones, who we're talking about on the screen,
Yeah.
when that guy, was that Blaine?
Yeah, it is.
When that guy was drafted, another Detroit sports commentator on the radio nicknamed him Danny Duke Face because he played for Duke and he just looks like a Duke face guy. Like his face, if you typed into AI, like make an image of a guy who went to Duke, like AI would just create Daniel Jones, right?
he looked like he got into football by mistake because he clearly should have played lacrosse.
Well, after the contract he signed this offseason, I think he's pretty pumped that he decided to err on the side of football compared to lacrosse because I don't think any lacrosse athletes are making quite what football athletes are making. But
Is there even a professional lacrosse association? Is
the
the
PLL,
Yeah, it's called
dude.
the NLL.
Yeah.
National Lacrosse League.
Yeah. Speaking of a guy, I mean, I haven't talked about lacrosse with this guy, but like, just look at him. Like, obviously, this guy knows about lacrosse.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
who's your favorite team in lacrosse? Are you a fan of the Yeti Yada Twins or
I
whatever?
also recommend an IPA.
Yeah,
They feel like these are
community.
genuine lacrosse questions. I begged my parents to let me play lacrosse when I moved here, but it was club only. And they were like, yeah, sure, you could play, but you have to pay for all your gear. And I was like, oh,
It's expensive.
I'm 14
Sticks
years
are like
old.
$400, $500 for a nice one.
You got to
can
buy
get a
your
shitty
own
one.
pads. You got to buy everything.
I did have a pair of sweet pads. I used to back squat with them before I grew delts and traps.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Fucking sick, dude.
Yeah.
Is the Denver team the Mammoth?
I have no clue. I don't know shit about the NLO. Other than they have some dude named Casey Gate who invented this like shot called the air gate. It's where you like, because in lacrosse it's like hockey where there's area of play behind the net as well, and then so he like jumps and like does like a Superman over the net and like scoops the ball into the net for a score from behind the goalie.
You were saying gate, like a gate, and not like
No, his
Valley Gay, right? Like I thought
Gate.
they called it the gate.
no. His last name is Gate. G-A-I-T.
Pretty gay. Like, I think we can all agree on that and everything else.
I played lacrosse.
We're all holding sticks the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I quit that to wrestle.
Yeah, and then you became an NCAA All-American. You're just like, let me try this. One of the best to ever do it that's ever lived.
I was a long stick defender
Yeah?
back when I played.
He was really bad at it.
No, I got suspended for my 8th grade team because I checked a guy and then I got put in the penalty
You
box
stick
for
checked
it.
a guy or like shoulder checked a guy real bad? Cross checked him?
No, honestly, it was a clean hit. Shouldn't have got a penalty for it, but it was late in the game.
Sends off the TV, please.
And then this ref was like yelling at me when I came off the field. I was like, dude, relax. this is 8th grade lacrosse, and then my coach suspended me because I yelled at the ref.
Well, as somebody who wasn't there, I appreciate you going hard the whole way through.
Oh yeah, don't come on my end and think you're not gonna. Oh my God. The rookie Hyatt drops a easy first down pass from Daniel Jones over the middle. 37 seconds left. Yeah. This is rough, man. This is really bad. I did not expect the Giants.
This game is exceptionally rainy. Like every time it doesn't really look like it when they're showing this shot, but every time they show the stands, you can see how much water is coming down.
Passes behind him.
Yeah, Daniel Jones is not playing a great game here. The rain isn't supposed to affect you at all. And look at Micah Parsons just taking that double team into Daniel Jones's lap, having a free rusher off the end. It's not fair for Daniel Jones, honestly.
So, one of the things that Parsons did in the offseason this year is he sent a letter to an ex-offensive lineman. I don't remember the offensive lineman, but he had a whole bunch of Pro Bowls and all this stuff. He sent him all this footage, and he said, what would you do against me? I want to know. He wanted to get in the mind of an offensive lineman. Most people just keep working out, work with their defensive coaches, but like this offensive lineman spoke very highly of Parsons. He was like, it wasn't just like he took my notes and said, okay, thanks. He said, we got deep in it. We talked all the time about it. He's practicing certain things, and then we go into the practice with the Cowboys and try it out on the offensive lineman there to get pumped up for him. And like literally, he did that after doing all that boxing stuff after practice, like each and every day. So like. And I know you say everyone puts a lot of work into it. Like this dude was trying to think outside the box a little bit. You're already a premier defender. How much better can you get? Well, we're going to find out here over the next 17 weeks, I think.
Yep, he looks absolutely incredible. And I don't mean to disparage. It is very impressive what Micah Parsons has done as a young superstar in the league. He's obviously putting the work in. But get a grip, New York Giants. That's kind of where my point was coming from. But yes, to your point, Micah Parsons has played incredibly well, has looked incredibly impressive, and has basically single-handedly broken this New York offense 26-0 at halftime. We are going to hit the refresh button. We're going to see if that boots us off the internet. If that does, maybe we'll come back on. If it doesn't,
So convicted. Maybe we'll talk.
That was like a movie moment there where you pause for dramatic effect.
this is a rough game to commentate, and that's, I guess, the NFL. My name's Jamie Jakes. This is What Are You Talking About with Jamie Jakes, and I am going to hit the refresh button right now.
Natalie, you're right. He wouldn't even let me talk about video games. So you're just gonna play board games during his podcast.
I won't talk.
And we're back here on the Cowboys watch party. The Cowboys are currently slaughtering the Jets. 11 minutes and 40 seconds left in the third quarter. Oh, the Giants. I'm so sorry. Either way, the Cowboys have the football, and we are pivoting on this live watch party. by bringing out. Y'all can turn the microphones back on if you'd like to. You're gonna flip that switch, Richie, on the top right there.
This is the worst.
I never turned it off.
Ever.
No, you did. Someone turned it off.
That's all he does is turn things off.
Yeah, it is.
My name's Jamie Jakes. Richie will be off camera on mic. He is a Cowboys fan and he's loving every single thing he's seeing right now. So
That is correct.
So we're just going to let him keep loving every single thing that he sees right now while we play a game of Catan.
Wow, it is really going to be a. Oh my god. Should I redo this for?
No, Natalie, just put the numbers down. You don't even know what the numbers are.
Yeah, but look at the lineup.
Tony Pollard takes the ball, fumbles, and the Cowboys pick it up.
Oh,
Of course. Of
all right.
course,
Sid Pollard, bring in Deuce Vaughn now. Rest him the rest of the
the
game.
Cowboys pick up the
Think it's
football.
time?
Let him leapfrog from the
Are you,
three spot.
are you being sincere or like kind of braggadocious?
I mean, they're already winning 26-0.
I'm legitimately asking because I don't know if that's enough to be like at that. Like I legitimately.
No, he's third on the
that's
depth
a
chart.
question.
He's third on the depth chart, so they wouldn't bring him in. They bring Dottle in.
Are you talking about Deuce Vaughn and the potential of Deuce Vaughn coming into this football game? Yeah, Dowdle probably should have drafted him. Probably should have picked him up as Pollard's handcuff if you were in a light redraft league. Pollard in single eye formation. 3.5 yard run. Cowboys will have it. 2nd and goal from about the 3 yard line.
McCarthy said he wanted to run the ball some more, so this is when you got to do it.
He sure did. Miles, could someone bring me a beer? I seem to have forgotten to bring
got
myself
you.
a beer. Oh, I think that's that one next to you, but I could go for a Bud Light as well.
Empty, so.
Natalie's setting the board right now, very efficiently, very smoothly, for our Catan matchup here.
IPA.
Tony Pollard walks into the end zone. 10:01 on the board. Cowboys will go up 4-5 scores.
You can't do tens and tens.
You can't put any single number next to each other.
We
Or
are going to the Super Bowl.
The Cowboys.
Anybody else want a beer?
I'm good.
You heard it here first.
Richie, how you feeling about the Cowboys? You have 2 Reds right next to each other here, Natalie.
It is week 1. This is meaningless.
You really think so?
As far as
Meaningless?
Red or yellow?
other than it's 1 win.
We are
next
going
week,
to the Super
2
Bowl.
Reds.
The Cowboys are
works.
notorious until recent years about playing to their competition on pretty much every week. The last few years they'll do the exact opposite of what they're supposed to do.
Miles, do you
in
know
every
how to
game.
play? Have you played or no?
I've played before, but I don't really remember how to play.
Okay.
And I would play, but I don't want to have the rules explained to me on camera.
I'll be the Reds.
That would be embarrassing.
Yeah,
No, I
because
just
God
want-
forbid
I
you
just
try
want
anything
you to
new in your life.
No,
That's all it
I
is.
would
I
be
just
the
don't-
one who would yell.
Oh, it's fine.
2.
Are you rolling for initiative?
We're rolling for who goes first.
We've been playing. We've been playing something on some other thing.
Red, I'm the Reds. 33-0. Cowboys over the Giants. We're playing
You go first?
some Catan while we watch the Cowboys. Again, Richie, you'll be over
We're
on
done
the
already.
Settlers of Dallas.
Did everybody roll?
Settlers of Dallas. And we are, playing the gentrification expansion pack. Settlers of Dallas.
Hell yeah, brother.
Grapevine, like local historic. Sorry.
I have 23 Twitter notifications. Wonder what that's about.
Oh
I think we're good. I don't think I said anything too problematic. I think someone's getting roasted in my behalf if I'm reading Twitter correctly currently. So that's good news.
no! Alright.
So who goes first? That'll be Blaine with the Blues.
Old lady.
Is that right?
Yeah, am I missing a... no, I'm not.
you need?
Never mind.
Do you have 5?
I have 4.
If you're trying to sync back up with us at home,
No, I've got 5 houses.
we're watching a Jalen Hurts commercial. Had a
Okay.
pretty mediocre game for Jalen Hurts' standards. Still got away with a W against the New England Patriots.
Close one.
Looked feisty. A little bit closer than I was expecting, that's for sure.
So that is my random shot in the dark. I think Hurts is going to get injured this year. I want him to be healthy.
That's not a bold call. That's one of the things that I've been talking about all offseason with Hurts in relation with Lamar Jackson. Is everyone's like, Lamar Jackson, he's so injury prone, he's never finished a season where he won an MVP one year, right? And Jalen Hurts is like, he's never had a valuable fantasy football season where he was available for the playoffs. He's only been able to get you to the playoffs, then he gets injured and he gets benched for the last like 6 to 8 games with an ankle or I think a shoulder last year. So a lot of injury concern with Jalen Hurts. I think he has the highest ceiling out of anybody just because they didn't play any fourth quarters last season, just with how dominant that defense was. Didn't play very many second halves. Usually they put up 35 in the first half, kind of like the Cowboys did in this game, and they kind of just shut things down and started handing it off to whoever, which inflated their fantasy football. My turn?
No, it's clockwise, right?
Who goes next after Blaine?
You,
Clockwise.
Natalie.
You're right. Braden's right.
Oh, and it's coming down hard. Can't wait to see the Giants be productive on offense in this rain. Which brings me to my next point. I think all outdoor stadiums should be outlawed. Like,
No.
except
No, on the
for
football field is just.
except
part
for
of the-
Lambeau. Except for Lambeau. But other than that,
Just the one.
So why does Green Bay get the exception?
Yeah.
So
Just because it's Lambeau?
yeah, they get the home field advantage.
They get to play
Brady gets
until
to
it
go twice.
collapses.
Yes, that's how a snake draft works there, James.
I think Micah Parsons takes offense to your statements and he's going to take it out on
He does
on
look
Daniel Jones.
particularly angry. He also looks like he needs to have his windshield wipers replaced on his face mask.
nice. Daniel Jones rolling out. Just run it, dude. Just run it every
We're
time.
almost a first down, dude.
He has almost no help.
That's what I'm saying. And you keep saying he's playing super bad, and he's
is
not,
playing bad.
His stat line sucks, but like I initially started this podcast by saying that dude looks like a dweeb that shouldn't be in the NFL. You guys defended him, and then like the whole game, he's been scrambling out of the pocket, getting first down after first down. He's probably got more fantasy points than Saquon does right now.
Well, yeah, because they kind of abandoned Saquon after the
Leading
first drive.
rusher in
Look,
the
literally,
game.
that's the thing I didn't understand.
Like I
when they
said
came out for the
earlier.
second drive, I'm like, they're going to
They
keep
got
running
away
it.
from
And then they
Saquon.
started throwing it, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Fumbled the snap.
Yes. Look at that secondary jump.
Yikes.
Get him.
God damn it, dude! I was just saying you're doing. But again, that goes back to your point. If he has no support, that's a bad snap right off the.
Wow, it is raining.
9:14 on the game. Stephon Diggs in the crowd playing Monday night.
Taking it off right now.
Rumors in the offseason that Stephon Diggs wanted to come play for the Cowboys.
Apparently
so interesting.
That was Cap.
Apparently that was Cap.
Yeah,
But now
that's
we're
the
looking
latest on
at-
the Cap report as per Stephon Diggs.
Yeah. He did. He did
you
say
have-
that was Cap. I'm not sure if it was
did.
Cap, Braden.
Stephon Diggs.
No, I thought you had
Horse's
Kincaid.
mouth.
I don't know.
I know, I can't
Wait,
fucking
tight end.
Dalton Kincaid.
Do the Giants go for it on fourth down in their own zone right now?
He said go.
I do have Dalton Kincaid.
Yeah, if you want to win this
I'm
game, you got to
interested
go for it here.
I'm
very interested to see how he, especially on a high.
You think he could? You think he could make 72 points?
He could. I mean, it's possible.
Man,
the way
this
you
is
say that your scoring is in your league,
A
anything's
fairly tough decision that I'm facing here in this game of Catan.
possible. How, what's the mean?
Just an absolute disaster of a board that we're staring down here
Points or something.
Yeah, so
in this
every
game,
week
and I
is
have
worth 2.
only one
so
choice.
that's the league
that
median.
even makes
and anybody
sense.
that's above the league median
Even
gets a
makes
win
sense for me to
or
go.
a loss if you're under
For me
it, and then you
personally,
get a
for
win
me
or a loss.
personally
So,
to
like,
go, I have to
at
go
the
right
end of the
here.
season, you'll have
Money,
like
right?
double
That's that
stats.
absolute money
So
choice.
that's where the so you
I
say
have
like
to.
if you have
That's why I
literally
was
scored 200 points, but
debating
you
that.
beat me with 210.
That's
I
fine.
still get a win.
Honestly,
If you and
I
I
don't
are
even
number 1 and
care.
2 in the league, but we play each other, it
that's
doesn't fuck with the other
Honestly,
person.
fine with me.
I mean, it still does a little bit, but like you get a little bit
It's
of
a strong play right
Did
there.
you grab your? Okay.
I did, yes.
Get a
I know
little
how to
bit
play
of-
the game.
payback, I guess.
In my mind, it hybrids
you'll roll the
the
die?
points league and the win-loss league.
Hey, Saquon Barkley getting back involved. That's good news.
With a catch if you're in PPR.
Yeah, and a
guess they
first
can
down
throw
if
the
you're in
ball.
point per first down. So good news for both of us.
Point for first down is a
Fourth down
ridiculous
conversion that
concept.
none of us even watched live because we were
Get
so
him.
bored. Sacked, taken down.
It does feel like every play is like, or every other play is like this. It's like some
that an eight?
decent offense out of Daniel, and then a sack.
But see that's where the win losses for the Cowboys will come into play. The weeks that they get pressure, that you're gonna get the turnovers. It's just football. If they can't get through the defensive or the offensive line, then they're probably gonna get beat. I think this week they just wanted to score more points than San Francisco to show that they could, do it for once.
San Francisco looked impressive today. I think the Steelers got a rude awakening, and Steelers fans and football fans in general got a rude awakening that maybe ultra impressive preseason performances aren't that valuable in real life.
It shows that you have a healthy understudy for every position.
You telling me that Kenny Pickett's not that guy?
I don't think. I'm starting to think that maybe Kenny Pickett is, in fact, not that guy, pal. At least the way that it appears at the current moment, in the place that we are, in the time that we have, from what we've seen so far. The girls are whispering, making us feel like we're back in high school again.
Oh, you should have heard what they were saying about us podcasting when she first walked in earlier. That was pretty hilarious. I almost got up and joined them.
Does anyone on that note? Does anyone want to trade me some cheap?
I don't have any sheep.
I have not sleep. 5.
You guys might want to put in your backup quarterback at this point. He's gonna get hurt.
What do you mean, you guys? Me? You don't think
I was talking to the TV.
Okay.
They can they can hear you.
I thought you were trading sheep for a QB over there.
I traded away Daniel Jones, and I feel great about it at the moment, honestly. Imagine starting Daniel Jones in your Dynasty Superflex league right now today.
Damn, 5.
It's
In 2023.
I've never really thought doing a dynasty league would be fun, but I think Miles was talking about that a few weeks ago. And if we did it with a group of friends where we know everybody, I'd be open to the idea.
For what it's worth, Rich, I did this without your consent, so you might not want it. But I told Jamie that if we have somebody drop out of our keeper league next year, that you should be the person that gets the spot. Because I think that you would really enjoy it and you'd be consistent at it. And the only thing that sucks is you have to take over whatever team. You only get the keeper from whatever team you get to take over. But so far, ever since I've been in the league, we've had at least one person drop, and it's like a fun but still competitive league where everybody actually pays attention and takes it serious.
Is this the keeper league where you take them in the round after you drafted them the following year?
Yeah. So for instance, I got
Before,
Damian Pierce.
Well, you
this
talked
year.
about your crazy rules before.
Yeah, we've discussed them.
Yeah, it's a really fun league. Like I kept Olave, who had a great fantasy game today, for like 8th rounder this year, something crazy like that. Jamar Chase is being kept currently for like a 5th rounder in our league.
What?
Like, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So you have like super fun things that happen like that.
So wait, hold up. So if you keep the same player multiple years, they're always going up.
And you can't keep your first round pick.
Okay.
Yeah, you
So
can't keep the first because
So
it's
it'd be that
So
makes
you can
much
never
sense.
keep Bijan in our league, basically.
But like
because then Jamar Chase, if you're keeping him every year, that means he's been that good every year, so he's going to cost more each year, essentially.
I picked up Rashee Rice in the 13th round this season, and I'm feeling pretty damn good about that after the opener Thursday night.
Yeah, Rashee Rice. I drafted him more than anybody in best ball. I have a 43% exposure to Rashee Rice. So he's starting in probably every single one of those leagues. So I had a good game in best ball. That's why I'm not stressing right now about my home leagues, because I have a lot of exposure in a lot of really good areas in best ball, and that's what I love about it. Does anyone want to trade me any wood?
It's not late.
Best ball fantasy. I'll talk to you about that 1 second, Richie.
You need some wood, you said? Sorry.
I do need some wood or some sheep.
Best ball and wood all going down here on what's
Yeah, no
happening.
one wants to
with
trade me
JJ.
any wood.
I don't have any wood.
You sons of guns.
What do you need?
Do they have maybe bushes
Go
Do you have any
fish.
wood?
around that wood?
Give me some wood. What? Do you have wood?
What do you want? What do you need?
I need wood and sheep.
I have wood. What are you offering?
I'll give you-
sheep? I'll take it.
Or just like if there's no actual
wheat?
footage and someone's just listening, this sounds amazing.
Take a
Right
wheat
now.
and a sheep.
I don't have a sheep.
This is the
Take
worst
2 wheat.
foreplay I've ever heard.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, 2 wheat for a sheep from
Jamie Jakes, a gentleman who never trades. Never trades.
What just happened, Natalie?
Jamie Jakes, who never ever trades, just traded 2 wheat for
That's
a
slander. I trade with
single
people.
sheep. 1 single sheep. That is unheard of
Slander.
here
I'm
in the
gonna sue
Catan
you.
household.
I'm gonna sue you. Does anyone want to trade me a wheat?
What do you want? You want a wheat? I'll
Yeah.
give you
You
a
need a
wheat.
wheat
What do you
now?
want?
Yeah, I need a
What do you
wheat.
want? What are you gonna give me? What are you gonna
I do
give
need
me?
a wheat now. I'll give you an ore.
No.
The floodgates have opened, ladies and
All right,
gentlemen.
and that's a settlement, baby.
No.
This is with you, pal.
Wah, wah. And now he's on a 3-1 port with. You think it's just a 5? It's going to be so much more than that.
See, you guys
gonna
are
be so much
podcasting the wrong
more.
thing. You should clearly be doing this.
Yeah,
as the
you're way
podcast.
better at Catan than you are fantasy
You
football.
could actually come back with some animation.
Where's the camera? Where's the camera? Honest?
Yeah. What is that?
That's a 5.
5, finally.
And if you are currently joining us, just clicking on this link for no reason,
Pay off.
we are
wondering why you have a label of NFL.
Thank you, Natalie.
You can see my Patriots shirt in the shot.
Hell yeah, brother.
Nailed it.
Thanks.
Yeah, I knew we could wear other teams. I would have wore the Broncos today.
It's Patriots gets on.
I had their defense doing as well as this did.
Man, same way as all their games last year went.
What's going on?
Lost by 1 point.
Holding defense, automatic
We'll take
first
that.
down.
Honestly, how did Russell
I
Wilson do?
passed her the dice.
He did,
Okay.
He did all right.
He looked better than he did last year.
7.
It was a weird game.
How many cards you got?
Like
What?
4.
Oh, how did Zeke do for the
Don't worry about
Patriots
me.
today?
Worry about yourself.
Didn't get as many touches as I expected.
I know how to play
I
the
would
game.
love. I'll look
I know how to
up
play
what
the
Zeke's
game.
production was
I figured
today.
they were just going to use him in like they did what's his face the last time
That's a
Brady
good
won.
choice
with
right
him.
there, babe.
Oh my gosh! I had
Natalie,
that.
do you have any?
Fournette, actually.
Do you have any opinions on Zeke going to your home team, the Patriots?
No, hey. No, thank you.
You don't want that's you. That is that your response to my question, or your response to Zeke going there?
That's my
Zeke got 7 targets
I don't want
for 5 receptions. So in half PPR, he did great.
You don't think Zeke's the one?
So he got 14 touches or 14. He got 12 touches today, 5 receptions, and 7 runs. Wasn't ultra productive, but nobody really was for that Patriots offense today, as far as I could tell.
I was honestly disappointed when I heard that Zeke was no longer a Cowboy. I kind of liked him.
He was a fan favorite. It's just he was
Steady
costing so much
Eddie
money.
on the podcast was super disappointed. Obviously, got on his hands and knees and begged for Zeke to come back. Doesn't seem like he will.
All right, does
Until his
anybody
contract
want
expires, then
me
he
to
comes back on the
wood?
league
I'll give
minimum.
you a weed.
Yeah.
No.
No, I don't think I ever would, Natalie.
We do not need that right now.
Anybody want to
Who is this?
We definitely saw that coming. I believe that is Tyrone Smith, and we already are missing Tyler Smith.
O line.
Yep. And
No.
Tyrone Smith gets hurt every year, so we saw this coming. But
But
the
he usually
rookie-
waits till week 3.
the rookie we drafted last year to take his place was hurt. before
Already
this game.
hurt, dude.
Yep.
Well, at least he's following in his mentor's steps.
So you want any wheat?
For what?
I'll take a wood for it. I'll
Especially in a
take
game that you're
a
already
sheep for it.
Slaughtering the other team, and why are you still playing him?
Oh no, I'm good.
And we're playing Catan here, watching football, which is the only way you could actually enjoy what you're doing right now, watching this horrible football game presented to you by the NFL.
Jamie's clearly never heard of drugs.
What?
Just saying, there's other options.
Oh, to enjoy this football game?
Yeah.
If we just, like,
It's a very enjoyable.
if we
game.
just went next door and got some meth, we,
Yeah,
we
dude.
could still. Is that why San? Is
We
that
can
why?
enjoy how bad this game is faster.
Is that why 49ers fans don't have any teeth?
That's exactly what
They live in San Francisco. They can afford veneers.
Oh, okay. Not the ones I met.
Nice.
Not everybody in San Francisco is tech elite.
And they're playing Catan here.
Boston, what'd you find, dude?
Blaine, who's blue, passes the die. Natalie rolls a 6. No, that's a 4.
That's a 4.
Yeah, for sure a 4.
Is that only because you're on a 6?
No, you have that's a 4, Natalie. And if you wanna be weird about it, then roll it appropriately. All
If
right.
you want to give me a sheep, I'll give you a wheat.
I don't have any sheep.
No. Pass the dice. No one
Now I
wants
kind of feel like they're playing Minecraft.
to trade embargo.
It does feel weird.
Have you ever
Look
clicked
at
on
it.
What about
No,
two
this- I've never
wheat?
seen it.
I played once, and I honestly
Two
was
wheat for
trying
a
to talk you
sheep.
into getting the VR version so we could play on.
You just did that.
Did try to talk
No
me
one
into
has
that
any
a few
sheep.
months
No one
back
has any
on,
sheep because there's
It's
terrible
really
numbers
good
on the
reviews.
sheep.
Literally no one has
He
sheep.
actually has it
How
too.
about
Quest.
He has an Oculus. Yeah,
I mean, it's a Quest, man. I don't know why you
I
call it.
can't remember what it was called.
No, I'm just,
Pass the
we
dice,
always call it
Natalie.
Oculus. It's,
Natalie.
It feels
Okay, I saw the end. It's okay. It's bread. It's Peyton Manning
10 is rolled.
drinking a red
There's
wine
sheep.
Baby.
wine and bread.
Some sheep for the
in
economy.
a loaf of French bread.
There's some
Oh,
more
I
for
thought it
the
was a Subway
economy.
commercial.
I think it is a Subway commercial.
Are you serious?
No, it's
That's
an NBC
NBC.
commercial.
Which one is that? That one's paid.
He's got to bring Eli in too for a quick little jab
Sheep.
at the end too.
I do like the commercial where it's the Eli Manning and Peyton Manning commentary show or podcast they do,
Yeah.
and they're like interviewing
I
celebrities.
love the Manning
As
cast.
much as
Little
I don't like
Wayne,
Eli on the
dude.
football field, I do enjoy Eli off the football field.
You didn't
I
like
loved Eli on the
Eli.
football field, if I'm honest. 7. Get it off that 5, baby.
I didn't hear what you were honest about. What'd you say?
Me or Blaine. You haven't picked on. Okay.
Jamie, what's your opinion on Eli?
Everyone against me. Eli?
Yeah, you just made a comment. What was it?
He won a couple Super Bowls.
So you are a fan?
What?
I want to make a comment.
Last Thursday, we had Caleb on the show, and he mentioned Mark Wahlberg and some outlandish remarks about Mark Wahlberg being racist, and I looked into it, and it is true.
I told
And I just
you
want
it
to
was.
bring that up and talk about how it's not okay what Mark Wahlberg did to those people. And I want to
Even though
remind
he's a
everyone,
Boston hero?
every time I'm on this show, I'm going to bring that up. So thank you very much.
She's also
And
going to
every
recommend
time-
that we stop talking about football and play Catan.
And every time I'm on the show, I will bring up that Mark Wahlberg said that Jared Goff was due. So maybe not everything that Mark Wahlberg said
All
was
right,
ultra
Jamie,
problematic.
for the record right now, you have to pick one. Which one is worse, the inherent Asian hate or the fact that he said that about golf? I know, I hate to put you on the spot, but you have to pick one.
If he didn't say one thing, I would
Yeah.
lean to the side of non-racism. I would wish he
Smart.
didn't
That's
say
gonna
that.
save your comedy career in about a
And did
decade.
say what he said about Jared Goff because that is 100% true. Didn't hear exactly what he said about Asians. Wish he didn't say it though. And that's what I feel about the situation.
Good cover, dude. Look at he might run for politics one day, ladies and gentlemen.
I will. Yeah, I'm just like Obama. Give it to me.
Alright, it's not even, it's my turn. Chill out, bro.
Yeah, dude, it's Michelle's turn. Calm down.
It is Michelle's turn, I think. You're right. 9.
Attack under pressure.
Does anybody want to give me a sheep?
And he throws.
No one has any sheep.
I'll give you a
Actually, that's not
I
true.
will
Raiden
say,
has
dude,
sheep.
like I don't think.
Or does
Dak
anybody
has
wanna
been
give me a wheat?
particularly
I'll give you an
impressive, but he
or.
also hasn't.
I
Screwed
think I might do
food.
that.
Yeah, there was that one play though where they should have picked it off and they dropped it. So.
Yeah, he's has the opposite luck of Patrick
right.
Mahomes.
Except for that trade with Natalie.
These
He looks
4
not good to me right now.
are a sheep.
He missed that wide open touchdown pass
This is a
earlier.
wood. This is a brick.
No, to be fair, he does get pressured, but I mean, statistically speaking, he was actually in the top 5 in a lot of
Had
categories.
so many
under pressure
enemies.
last
Got
year,
so many enemies.
which is something a lot of people didn't realize.
Got these haters
Hey,
trying to drain
Jamie
me of my
shocked me
energy.
earlier. What team last year had the highest number of rushing yards in the NFL, Rich?
Raiden recently screwed me over. Blaine also
I'll
did
give you the
this
hint.
game.
I was shocked when I
but
heard the answer.
Buffalo. You said
Natalie
it
is
would
the
shock
one
you,
who's
so that one
winning
was the one where I would
and
not
I
think it would
like
be
the
because the
cut.
quarterback likes to run.
of Blaine's jib. So I'm going to go ahead and put this right here.
Yeah, highest number
and
of total
steal.
rushing yards. In
Natalie, do
the
you have any
NFL.
cards? Raiden, do you have any cards?
I made a comment. Their new star running back had a
Oh, I
great
did put it
day
on
today,
Blaine.
and I made the
Raiden, do you have any
comment that
cards?
was impressive because of how bad their team was. And
I
he
know.
informed me.
I put it on Raiden and Blaine's
Wow.
on accident.
Isn't that shocking?
Yeah. That worked at my company.
Hey,
That's one of his sons that head coaches that team.
You are right.
Interesting.
Raiden recently stole from me, so I'll take from you, Raiden.
They're just throwing whatever they could out there on the field. How did Bijan
Enjoy.
do today?
He's the one I was talking about who had a great game.
That's what gave me the clue on what I
Absolute
needed.
form.
I didn't get to see a stat line.
He looked like it wasn't just his stat line, but his runs looked impressive.
Well, they donated. They were like,
supposed
well,
to.
Matt, if you buy this, 100%.
A lot of people wanted the Cowboys to get him, and they kept doing mock drafts where he ended up falling all the way to the Cowboys.
Does anyone want to trade me a wood?
Dumbass shirt. Stupid.
Does anyone want to trade me a wood?
No.
What are you willing to trade for that wood?
I'll give you a brick or a wheat.
I'm gonna pass.
Okay.
Think about her
I would
saying
talk
that.
about the way.
I was thinking about that shirt.
I want to talk about Hawaii. We're referencing other comedy podcasts on this football podcast. We're playing Catan live. It's a 9.
I think it's fair to say this is a variety show at this point. Jamie.
Okay, he averaged 5.6 yards per carry. They just didn't run him a whole lot.
Who's that?
Bijan?
Robinson. 4. Bijan.
Yeah, he got a lot of receptions though.
Yes, he did. 6 receptions
need
for a
this.
touchdown.
You really don't need
for almost no yards.
Really?
That touchdown looked good too.
Do you see it from here?
Yeah. It's only 1-4.
Yeah, Bijan looked great. Hopefully they get a little bit more. Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs gets a little bit more touches later on in the season. Was a little bit concerning to see Tyler Algier take a lot of those goal line touches away from Bijan. But granted, Bijan was basically on the goal line when he scored his reception touchdown for the game. So yeah, reasons
Talk
to
about
be
a Swifty move there to score that touchdown.
Oh yeah, reasons to be a little bit concerned, but like also reasons like maybe we should have drafted Eckler over Bijan. I don't know.
Well, and the Falcons, to be fair, just want to win games and score, so they're going to do it however they can.
10. Natalie rolls a 10. I get another or. That's a big roll for me.
Big roll for me as well.
Oh yeah, how did old Jonathan Taylor do today?
0.
One and done.
0.0.
I rolled a 10.
T. Higgins got a 0.0 today, goose egg.
I'm gonna buy
I think Dallas Goedert got a goose egg today.
That's not good. Don't give up first downs.
Somebody
Saquon
roll
Barkley
7
moving the
to
ball.
Get that thing off me.
Cowboys fan Richie in the corner, still concerned that they can potentially lose this game.
There's too much time left in this game for sure for them,
9. No.
and that should tell you all you need to know.
9. Okay, everybody, we've determined it's a 9.
We have confirmed that's a 9. Does anyone want to give me an or a sheep?
Sure.
Nope,
I don't have either.
me either.
Okay.
All I've got is 3 points. Bitches.
We're in the risk.
That's a 10.
That's a 10.
Right here, got another or.
We love another or. We love another or.
I think I have 7 cards
Anybody like
in
to
my
trade me?
hand.
What is it? It's a sheep.
I'm looking for a brick. I'll trade you a sheep.
Oh, I'll do that too, man. I thought I asked for that already last
I
round.
didn't have a sheep at that time.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Daniel Jones hitting his receiver right in the chest, drops it.
Hit him in a bad spot.
Man,
Well, it's the only place I can put him.
12 baby.
Where's the 12?
Love that.
Oh, cool.
Gotta love a 12 roll when you're on a 12.
Nice.
If a 12 ever pays off, you're in good shape.
That's something.
I think I have 8 cards in my hand. If a 7 is rolled, I am screwed. I'm totally screwed.
Give an update on the score of the game, of our game, Jeremy.
What? Our game?
Like it's in full like
They can see it.
I just like how you guys rolled higher than the completion yardage on that play.
Yeah.
That should say all you need to know.
Still Blaine's turn.
She's deciding.
Which settlement play she's gonna put on?
The settlement.
This is
Yeah, that's
better.
better, way better.
No.
Already on the 2.
Yeah, I think that's a safe spot
Yeah,
too
you're
for you.
on 4.
6. Nice.
6.
Relax, Natalie.
Nice.
Got 2 more cards. I'm in pretty good shape right here, even if I do roll 7 on my next roll.
Yeah.
Natalie probably has a victory point there if I know Natalie.
Why are you talking about me? Shut up.
What?
I'm gonna do nothing.
She
I
passed
feel,
it.
like, I feel like the
Hell yeah.
Giants score is very different than what Jamie had predicted at the beginning of the game.
11.
Did you guys make predictions
What
at
did you
the beginning of the
I
game?
don't think we made
We
predictions
didn't
at the beginning of
actually
this game.
formally make predictions, but the way that you were talking, you implied several times that you thought the Giants were going to put some points up on the Cowboys.
I was worried they were going to shock everybody and actually show up.
Shock the nation. Guess not. Not in their blood.
What's that mean? What is this?
Richie, I did bring up earlier before you arrived that the Dallas Cowboys were recently voted the #1 most
Jamie, I
hated
don't think we
franchise in
meant to give you this
America.
They're also the most expensive
Definitely not
franchise in
exactly.
America.
He wants
And
to
that's
act like
you.
that.
It's, I mean, I would have guessed that 10 out of 10 times.
You've got to guess like the Yankees.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
It's like when
think
you
about it
actually
after
went at the
Cowboys
roulette table
lose.
and you
Look at what's
leave a
all over
tip.
the
It's
internet,
like,
all over
okay, I'm
social
never
media.
making that
It's
money
all
back.
people mocking
Like,
the Cowboys.
this is a
That
losing-
tells you
this is a losing
how
bet to
important they
begin
actually
with,
are
like-
because everyone loves to hate them, and then there's the actual fans that just love
Just
them.
leave a tip for
So they're
the.
integral to sports.
Does that still make them America's team?
Well, the
Group effort. to
Yes,
together.
because America's team is just a moniker for that team that was
Relax.
playing back then.
you're going after
So
me.
they are America's team. They will
Why
always be
me?
America's team.
See, I've brought this up to you in the past. I feel like there's almost an argument to be made that
Yeah, I guess.
God, it's definitely not the New York Giants.
Sure felt
I
like
can-
Daniel
we can
Jones
agree
hit
on
that guy in the chest
That,
again.
that was their nickname, so they are America's
I-
team
I
because that
get-
was their
I
nickname.
get
Just
that. I
like
do
Denver
get
had
that.
Orange Crush.
But I also
Steelers had
feel
Steel
like
Curtain.
at the time that like nickname was established, like the society has changed a lot since then. I feel like if anything now, people would probably say the Patriots are America's team, and I don't like the Patriots. It's just that like when you look at
They
like,
gotta have a different
who
nickname.
has the most
It's all a nickname,
centralized
that's all
fan
it is.
base across America, I feel like more people are like, I fuck with Boston than I fuck with Dallas.
Most people outside
More
of
people
Boston
are Dallas
think-
Cowboys fans.
Say again.
More people are Dallas Cowboys
You think
fans.
that's true?
They
I
have
don't-
the
I don't
numbers.
think that's true.
They have the numbers 100%.
But you live
They
in
have
Dallas.
no, they have fans all over the country.
No,
Like,
I'm talking
if you-
world fans. Number
Okay,
one.
see,
If you go to
that's
Mexico-
what I was making the argument for is I feel like it's the Patriots.
You go to Mexico,
No,
it's
the
all
Dallas
Oakland and
Cowboys still have
Cowboys
been-
fans.
Not
Yeah.
Mexico, America.
It doesn't matter.
America's team is what
We're talking about world though, like and how profitable.
America's team is my point.
regardless, if you're just looking at American numbers, we still have the number
the
one.
number? All right.
Still the number one.
Look at the top.
You look
look-
very trustworthy, dude.
You can usually look at top jersey sales.
I always take
one in
geographical
jersey
facts
sales,
from people I
number
know who
one
can
in
do more
value.
squats than I can.
Number one.
It's just a fact about me.
What's up? I'm sorry.
So the easiest thing to do, Miles, is watch ESPN. If you watch ESPN over the off season, every time that a player of prominence wasn't on a team anymore, like DeAndre Hopkins, ESPN goes, "Oh, the Cowboys are going to trade for him." Cowboys never even brought up that they were trading for any of those players.
Cowboys do numbers. As somebody who puts
ESPN
out football podcasts and content, Cowboys do numbers. So if you just hashtag Cowboys,
If you mention the Cowboys
do
as an
numbers.
interest, it draws in more people.
Do they do more numbers than Super Bowls?
yeah, a lot more numbers than Super Bowls. 9 rolled.
You'll get more people paying attention because they either hate the Cowboys or love the Cowboys. There's no real middle ground on it.
They're divisive.
I definitely agree with the whole hate, like having haters puts you over more. Like,
And Jerry Jones, the whole, like, any publicity is good publicity, even though he's being currently sued in court for things. So it's just...
yeah, but only like sexual assault.
What is he being
things,
sued
not like
for?
football things.
Previously last year,
Anyone-
illegitimate child
Anybody want to trade me?
Nothing that's gonna hit the stat line on Tuesday.
traded for a third overall pick with a fourth round pick that Richie didn't want to give up for that player without talking to anybody.
You think the Giants can score today? That'd be cool.
That's the thing I'm worried about. I want the shutout. I love shutouts.
Right now, that is his favorite stat line. That is his favorite
that's
stat
the only thing I
line.
care about is the shutout.
But we're on pace to see 44-0 if this game continues on this pace.
This
Miles
is really
just did
bad.
math. You guys don't
I'm pretty good
understand.
at math, yo.
You don't understand how incredible that is that you just did that math.
And we are watching the Cowboys and the Giants opening
No,
week.
it's just the Cowboys.
That's not what you're watching. You're watching Settlers of Catan, a far more exciting game than anything that has happened after 7 p.m. today.
I was getting to that. We are watching the watch party of the Giants and the Cowboys, but we have pivoted to Settlers of Catan.
Did he
or
finally get some
Catan.
wood?
Lane is Blue is murdering the game right
Yep,
now.
and everyone was going after me earlier. That's cute.
I don't want to point this out, but from here it just looks like she's built a wall. I've always heard that's a controversial idea.
I feel like you're about to
It
drop
feels like that's what she's doing at this point.
Building a wall is actually the main concept to this game, so that's why white people excel at it.
Wow, we are at right 7
Maybe a sheep for a brick.
No way.
If you drop a cup in the middle of that table to play Titty Games, I keep waiting for it.
I actually thought we were playing King's Cup. I was just going to start drawing cards.
Points.
Yeah, you're a enemy of the people.
12.
Up Thursday night, Eagles and Vikings. My prediction about Jalen's probably going to come true on Thursday night.
All right.
Do you think that's the injury night?
I said week 3 or week 4 would probably be where he gets hurt.
Now you've shifted
Again, well, when I saw they were playing Thursday night, that's a quick turnaround. For what it's worth, I don't want.
I think
Jalen
we have
Hurts
more
to get
people
hurt.
watching right now than
Because
we're watching us watch
I think
football.
I don't want I don't want Eagles fans to be like, well, our quarterback was hurt, our best player was hurt. I don't want that. I want them to beat him with him on the field.
Eagles fans don't have access to technology. They can listen to a podcast. You don't have to worry about that.
I mean, they also throw
Dak
batteries at Santa
Prescott,
Claus.
first down, CeeDee Lamb. What else is new? 14:54 on the clock.
Which is still a higher number than the Giants score.
Give me that week.
Well, any number is higher than the Giants score because they have a 0 points.
I guess you could have like a negative
Anyone
one.
want to trade? Does anyone have? No one has sheep, right?
No.
I might have a
fantasy.
sheep. What do you got?
Everything, literally anything you want, except for Roar.
I've seen your running videos that are fun.
I always wish I could see Cowboys receivers that opening because I feel like I never see
No,
it.
I'm gonna hold on to it.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Dude, I mentioned Pollard
Good, he's
earlier. It
looking
looks
good.
like he's paying off in your fantasy lines.
It's fucking
I haven't actually checked his
So this is
score, but I've
sheep?
seen a touchdown and a couple first downs.
Well, the thing that's good is like the last couple of years he's been splitting time with Zeke and more each year. So now that he's the feature back, he's going to be paying dividends. I would have drafted Pollard in the first round if he was available and I was further in the first round. And I hate draft. I don't like to draft Cowboy players in fantasy. I feel like they're too.
Well, there's a time.
Overpriced.
I feel like they're inconsistent, and I feel like playing with my heart is a terrible idea.
For a 12 and a half.
I usually do pretty well historically with playing with my heart. Like Jared Goff, I'm on him this season. Baker Mayfield, I'm on him this season. He's got a deep deep spot in my heart personally.
runs are big for you.
Who else do I love this season? Oh, Deshaun
I heard
Watson.
that you love. I heard that you love Mark Wahlberg.
Huh?
I heard you love Mark Wahlberg.
I heard that too because he likes
Big
Deshaun
Wahlberg
Watson,
fan.
so it would make sense that you would also.
Oh, nice correlation there.
I don't like Deshaun Watson. However, I will profit from his fantasy results.
I mean, as a Cowboys guy, if you're not breaking the law in some capacity, you aren't winning a Super Bowl. That's what happens.
It is weird that you added the hate crime multiplier to our league this season. That's strange. but-
That ain't screwed it.
The hate,
How many PPR points are that?
the hate crime tier.
PPH.
Paid per hate.
Paper hate
I
crime.
don't know.
Oh, point per harassment. Harassment accusation. He's got
shouldn't be
like, he's
laughing
got like
about the-
34.
Act of the harassment, but the joke.
Yeah.
I have to move it. It's part of the whatever.
At this point, if we lose half of our audience, we'll lose 1.5 people.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to turn my phone off with that.
You should subscribe to what's going on with Jamie Jakes. It's a good football commentary show.
It is.
I'm a big fan of one of their frequent guests.
So do you do the show like all through the morning and afternoon games?
No, I did. So this is our second live stream ever. The first one was Thursday night, went all right. This is our second time doing it. Not going
One of the
great.
things we're talking about doing is like a mystery science theater of like old football games that are just like good games. I'm on board with that.
Are you gonna like review what happened in the game before you watch it? Or are you gonna do it like you fresh, like you don't know what's gonna happen?
I'll probably watch it live.
Single week,
improvise.
fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it'd be more interesting if like you watch like
dare
a
you.
game like the Drive.
How dare you? Trade
which
negotiations
Cleveland
over.
game.
I'm insulted.
Not necessarily in your favor, but definitely in favor from one of my favorite teams. But-
Cleveland and number with LA.
nope.
You obviously don't
Is that
respect
not the
me.
drive? Montana.
Oh, I thought you
You're
said.
gonna
I
offer
think
me
you said
a
LA. You
fucking
said
quick-
LA.
With LA.
Yes, yes,
yeah.
it is. It is.
Denver
stole
and
from me.
Cleveland.
Remember in Hot Tub Time Machine, they corrected it, so it
Yep.
didn't actually.
You said
happen.
here.
Even though somehow I know they
Trash
corrected it, which means it
you
didn't.
want it back?
You know what movie I watched recently that held up more than it ought to is Hot Tub Time Machine Part 2. Didn't expect to like it at all. I was pretty high and I was like, this will do. And I'm like, wow, this is way better than it ought to be.
It's not that bad. Neither of the Hot Tub Time Machines
I
are.
like Hot Tub Time Machine. Great White Buffalo.
Have you seen the
Not that
sequel?
bad.
Anybody
That's
want
right. I just
I think I actually have, but I don't remember the concept of it.
They make it
Just like
work
they made a second.
without like John Cusack isn't in the sequel at all, and they still make it work.
Well, they added Adam Scott.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
like they just eliminated a main character from the timeline, and we're like,
He's like, no.
this works."
One was enough.
Dude. Yeah, he's like, bro.
You sold out for the first one. What's the matter on the second one?
Jake Ferguson with his 14th target of the game.
Dude,
I
Ferguson
wanted
is going to be
Ferguson-
picked up on draft.
I wanted Ferguson to have a good. I liked Ferguson a lot last year. And
I love him. Yeah.
Everyone wanted Hendershot to overleap him because of his name, but I thought Ferguson was the better player. So I'm
Fergie
really,
Ferg.
really happy he gets to
What's
take center
happening?
stage.
Eh,
It feels very pandery that the coach of the Cowboys is wearing a New York Fire Department hat.
Yeah.
I agree because it's also like.
Well, he wore police department for the first half.
That's worse.
Tried
Fuck the
to-
police, dude.
It's
He
FDM.
where
No one hates the fire department, but the police
It is
suck
FDM.
I
inherently.
thought it was the other way around.
No, that's correct.
does anyone want to trade me a sheep?
No,
What you have?
I'll give you a brick or an ore for it.
I'll do it for a break.
There's another touchdown.
For Turpin.
Touchdown for Mr. Turpin.
And it does just
I
seem
don't even know who
inherently.
Turpin is.
He's the special teams guy. He was the guy for the Cowboys.
He's very short.
Started last year and he was returning all those kicks and going crazy, and they thought he was going to score all the time. So.
So they're putting him in as like a RB3.
They basically said they need to get him more involved. So they're trying to use him like
don't think
Tyler
11's been
Lockett,
rolled all
basically,
game.
from Seattle.
Okay.
So they're trying to get him more involved in the offense because he's an explosive weapon.
Yeah, he's
and it
an,
would
he's
make
an
sense.
athlete.
He's an asset too.
He looks very small.
He is, but
Yeah, I know. I mean, he fits into tighter spaces.
you could trade him for some wood.
Played this before. I rolled.
You could trade Turpin for some wood. I would give you some wood for Mr. Turpin.
We just need our kicker to not miss any more kicks.
His walk up is so weird, dude. Have you seen those like horse trotting things where they get like?
I mean, he's
like-
number 17.
I saw that. Yeah.
40 to 0.
That right there.
40 to
I'm
0.
good with that.
Why? I mean,
That
appreciate
face.
that guy still being there.
That
40 to
face.
0.
He's like, I gotta wait for my
He
Uber
can
to get
only
here.
afford one ticket a year, dude. He's staying all 4 quarters.
At MetLife, man.
Yeah.
What a disaster of a first game.
No, I didn't roll 11.
No, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, you played Hacker.
We are live watching the Giants and,
And
the
the
Cowboys.
true tell on the
Playing
numbers,
for
Miles, will be
Tom.
how many people actually watched this game. So it's 40 to nothing in the fourth quarter.
Cheap.
It's probably not. It's
With
not
a
gonna.
lot of time
It's
left
not
in the
gonna.
fourth quarter.
It's not gonna
That's
set any numbers on like highest rated games of all time. But if it's middle of the pack, it's because it's Cowboys.
Cowboys.
And it's
Cowboys.
rivalry game and it's nighttime.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the thing is like, of all the games they could have picked for this Saturday night game, I understand why they went Cowboys Giants before this weekend. But looking at it now in hindsight, there were so many good games today that they could have chosen that would have been a way better Saturday night game.
But you don't know if those players would have performed as well being on the spotlight where you're the only game.
That's fair.
all those things actually matter. And I don't think people think about those things enough. Where it's
Well, I also think it matters playing at noon versus playing at 3 versus
Yep.
playing at 7. Like,
Yep.
I mean, like
Those afternoon
being
games are-
as like a performer, like you have like the early show. Like it's like you don't have the time to let like the shit mentally like get to you.
Mm-hmm.
If you have like all day to sit around and like think about the game, you might overthink
Natalie,
it.
what are you
might
doing?
Underthink
Yep.
it. I don't know. You might.
well, remember we were
get
talking.
drunk on accident.
We were talking about Dalvin Cook the other day, and I recommended looking up Aaron Rodgers' Monday night performances and seeing what his stat line is to help
Also-
because those things matter.
Make
Heck, in baseball, you look at day game versus night game for some hitters because some hitters struggle in the daytime because
and then
it might be harder to see the ball.
Does anybody want to give me a brick? I'll give you an oar.
It is funny that it's harder to see the ball during the daytime than at nighttime in baseball, but it makes total sense when you slow
Wait,
down.
why am I
I've
trading
actually
with you?
heard
What
that this
is
movie.
We're not
is
allowed to talk about
in-
baseball on this podcast.
I know, just video
Miles
games.
did it, I didn't. I am actually, I want to watch
This is
this
a-
for free though. Not
That's where I draw the line.
Yeah, this is just a TV. This is just a car.
I thought you were going to talk about.
I
Gran
thought we were
Turismo.
both thinking about Gran Turismo, the movie, which I've heard is actually very, very good. And
It looks
basically, I mean, that makes sense. I really like sports movies, and in a weird way, this is a
And
sports
it's a
movie.
true story too. So
No.
like, it's,
7.
Everyone has wronged me in this game so badly. Everyone has ganged up on me, even
Wow,
though I'm in
you're
last
just-
place.
You're just really
Cowboys,
suffering.
the refs.
Just put your knife.
My life is so hard.
yeah, they bribed the refs for this game.
Life is literally my life is in Catan in this game is so bad. It's bad.
Shush, just play your knife.
Yeah, dude. See, this guy got his money's worth tonight, bro. He wore the right jersey.
That
and
looks like our
everything.
neighbor.
It does look like our neighbor, actually. And
Man, I mean, just
You're still in a podcast, Natalie.
Just think about New York right now. They've got, Giants. They suck. The Knicks had a bit of a bounce back year, I guess. And then that other team we won't talk about because we're not allowed to. They suck this year too.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice.
We're just playing Catan here, watching the Giants.
Honestly, the other thing about Daniel Jones, you got to give him credit for being tougher than I thought he looked from the beginning of the game. He was taking a lot of hits tonight.
I think he's just basically laying down in bed each time he snaps the ball, though.
I would too.
I'd be comfortable doing that as well. Oh, come on.
He's been. Oh
Yes,
my god.
yes.
Oh my gosh.
Was that a fumble?
That's a fumble.
Wow.
What an
Wow.
absolute
He might have been down already. I need to see the. I need to see his
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's see the replay first because they were all running around like it wasn't that big of a deal, but it's because they're up 40 to
Daniel Jones should ask for a trade.
Dude, the Giants offense is excited about their first defensive stop of the night.
good thing we're on.
Oh, that is a fumble.
Oh, it is a
100%.
fumble. All right.
That's unbelievable. The Cowboys
sorry,
defense. What if the Cowboys
this point,
defense
I'm embracing
is?
it.
What if the Cowboys defense is the new steel curtain, and this is just what they're going to do all season?
You're not asking the important question. The important question is, what if they set the record for turnovers in a season in the first week? Because that's what I'm expecting. It's 40 to
That's some
nothing.
Madden shit, dude.
250 to nothing. Let's go.
This game
And
is.
Michael Parsons is the character you like jacked all the stats up to.
Yeah. He's the creative character that's just way overpowered.
9.
Oh, this is tough to watch. Good thing we're playing this exhilarating game of Catan. I'm having a great time.
I mean, you're
If-
just stinking.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Also, everyone's ganging up against me, even though I'm not doing well. So that's cool
Yeah,
too.
because all we have to do is take that thing off of your 5 and you're crushing us. So we're not.
Literally, that was the first 5 that's been rolled. So you guys having that on my 5 all game not affected me.
Whatever, yeah, whatever you want to say, Jake.
Crazy,
Whatever you
man.
think.
There's only been one 5 that's been rolled all game.
Okay. So yeah, well, explain all
Maybe-
the work that I have then.
That thing's been on there, so you've got nothing.
That's the next
Yeah.
vehicle in
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto. Oh, or the,
I bought an
the
electric
big one-
bicycle
Wait, are you
the
gonna go?
big wheel top,
I rolled it
big wheel
out.
bike.
That's
right.
No, the big wheel, but like where it's the giant.
Oh,
front wheel,
oh, like the
little
old
one behind
school,
it.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that should be the next, but it's like
That'd be
fully
funny.
armored.
Yeah.
Left.
Oh, actually,
You
dude,
go over buildings on it.
Next week is the 10-year anniversary.
Natalie.
It's September 17th.
And needs.
What did you do?
it's
And
one
they
day,
are
one day
they're
after.
talking about
Spider-Man's vehicle, so web the buildings.
Now,
and go
don't
over
bring
it.
up earthquakes right now. They
They were
bringing up
talking about
earthquake
a
in
whole lot
Haiti
of
or
like
whatever.
rumors about like
1,000
bonuses
people
that are
died.
going to be in the game. There's
Morocco.
probably going to be a big money bonus. They're just going to give
Yeah, I know.
everybody.
It would be really funny if they just
I told you to
took
not
the
to
game
do it.
down on the 10-year.
He just said, don't
Honestly,
joke
it'd be
about
kind of
it. He
hilarious
said,
if they're
"Don't
like,
joke
by the
about
way,
that."
GTA 6 comes out next year. Hope you enjoy the wait.
Literally
And then
what I
they
said.
turn the servers off.
You're making a joke. 5.
You got to build up that
Guess
once.
5s are never rolled.
Fives are getting pretty hot right now.
5s?
So hot right now.
That's pretty good.
Zoolander.
Does anybody want to give me a brick?
No.
Maybe brick.
Wait, I don't want
They're
to.
talking about drugs.
Anybody else?
Nah. Ooh.
Five, look at that.
I feel like it's the same commercial every
Fives are
year
getting
on that
really
show,
hot right
and then they just add faces of the new people in there, and you just haven't noticed.
What do you? This is
Yeah, for a guy they say
disrespectful what you're doing.
doesn't like to tackle, he's been
This is every
in the middle of a
time.
lot of good
Dr.
plays.
Disrespect over here.
Yeah, seriously. I'm not your deal.
3.
He's the reason that
Shit.
I got the pick early.
Wow.
It's a big 3 roll.
Big 3 right here.
The other 3.
There's Deuce Vaughn! There's Deuce Vaughn!
There we go.
Here we go.
They're all yelling "Deuce" too in New York.
Let's go. This is
Miles, it's time.
This is what
You
the
predicted it.
Cowboys think of Deuce Vaughn. Is that when they're up 40-0,
He leapfrogged the number 2.
that's when Deuce Vaughn's
There's
gonna go
Cooper
on the
Rush,
field.
too.
Yikes. Yeah, so Deuce Vaughn, maybe not the fantasy asset this year that we were hoping for.
No. I'm gonna stand up for Deuce right now.
Stand up for
I'm the
Deuce.
same height as him.
Yep. We would tower over Deuce Vaughn if he was in the room right now, even in his cleats. But he is gonna score a touchdown on this play. Give it to him, Deuce Vaughn.
I can't go anywhere.
Jake Ferguson just pancake blocked whoever that was.
They know they're just gonna hand it off every play.
Out to there.
Oh, that's his son? Wow, he's even cuter
Yeah,
now
when he
than
said
he
he
was
wanted
back
Patrick
then.
Mahomes' autograph.
That was so fucking funny, dude.
Oh, yeah, you can see that. The wood's probably nicer. You're on a brick.
Dice is passed.
Monopoly.
You think Collinsworth's trying to kill time?
No!
Blaine just played a Monopoly card, asked for or. I have no cards currently, so that does not affect me whatsoever. Appears to have affected Natalie significantly.
What is the card that was played?
Monopoly card.
Oh my god, look at that.
You
You're
get
playing Catan, Jamie. You're confused.
Catan. It's pronounced in this household.
Is it? I think you can say it either way.
I feel like with the English language, with the vowel and the other vowel, it should be Caton.
Catan or Catan. It makes sense that his has more conservative approach.
Mine.
Look at the rain coming down, dude. That's wild.
Fall down and break my dreams. Let it wash away. So there you go. You guys can just get it.
Ooh, that's crazy.
Two, 4, 6, 7, 8,
And I'm back.
9,
Wow.
Blaine just won.
Blaine.
Good thing everyone ganged up on me when I had 4 points on the board.
Oh wow!
Good
I thought this was one
job.
of those games that took like.
Proud of Blaine.
18
Where's our
hours.
crown?
It's behind the leaves.
Do you want a crown her this time, Natalie?
I've heard this is actually. I played before and enjoyed it, and it's like very popular. I will probably eventually get the VR version.
Congratulations.
Blaine, Blaine, Blaine,
Blaine.
Blaine, Blaine, Blaine.
One, obviously, I had no chance ever.
Oh, my knees.
I'm going this way.
With that victory, Blaine just earned a starting position on the New York Giants.
It's what I've always wanted.
So I guess what do we do at this moment?
What you want to do?
This is your podcast, bro. We're just here.
Are you guys having a good time? Do you guys want to
having a good
commentate the rest of this?
Wait, how much? We got 9.
9 minutes and 4 seconds
Yeah,
of
I mean,
Micah Parsons time. I'm still here. I got you.
Honestly, like, at what point? So here is a legitimate question. At what point do either team start putting in like third options and like looking at?
They'll start running the ball just to kill the clock.
Well, like, but I mean, like if you've got a 40-point lead in the fourth quarter with 9 minutes, it's basically preseason week 5 right now, right? Like, I'm saying the point is, it's like the next preseason game. Like, you could use this time as an opportunity to look at like your depth and see.
That's why they put
Let your
Cooper
team
Rush and Deuce
rest.
Vaughn. Yep.
And let your
Yeah, they Miles, they literally already did that.
Well, the
It's-
Cowboys did. If you're the Giants, maybe, but you want to put somebody in and you want them to get something positive and try to score some points.
McDonald's
just to
sounds
make it feel
really
better.
good
That
right
does.
now.
Where did that come from?
Get an ad and sponsor. I want one
My
of their
tummy.
Diet Cokes. Their Diet Coke is delicious.
This podcast brought to you by marijuana.
But at this point, the team that's losing just goes, we got to get something positive, just like Rocket League. We got to do something
One positive thing.
Yep. Something to build on for next week, even though the media is going to be tearing them apart up there all week. And I just don't want, in Dallas, the media to be talking about how Mike McCarthy called a brilliant game on offense, because I feel like we really didn't see any offense.
It's 40-0. I feel like we've seen enough
How
offense.
many defensive points, though? It was
14.
Only 14?
Well, 13 because one of them was a missed field goal.
Did you say that you wanted McDonald's?
Yeah, I did.
Do you want me to just grill? I got hamburgers.
Yeah. And we have
let's
burger
do that.
patties too. I didn't mean to be loud, but yeah, that sounds great, Natalie.
Hell yeah, dude.
You got it. Oh, hot dog.
Oof.
That's not
So
that bad.
this could be risky, keeping Jones in right now.
Yeah, I would pull Jones down 40-0.
And he's just been taking a beating a lot. Like,
I
wants to be
get
competitive.
maybe some of the fans who are still there might boo you, but I would just live to fight another day at this
Maybe
point.
he said he didn't want to come out. He wants to hang in there with his teammates.
I guess that's a decision that maybe a player would make, but if you're a head coach of a football team,
I just wanted to show you how dumb of a stoner I am. I just got worried that Natalie was getting rained on outside because I'm watching it rain on television.
it is a Cowboys game. Well, and here you go. Probably a
positive.
starter for the Giants who are playing for no reason down on the field.
Yeah, at a point you do have to wonder.
Is it worth it?
And there's Daniel Jones with his Duke face, turf on his face mask.
It's raining as hard as it has been this entire game.
He is
I mean,
Jones, that's for sure.
I don't think this game's over yet, if I'm honest. It's only 40-0. Daniel Jones still out there slinging the rock to super explosive players like Isaiah Hodgins. This game's,
I mean, they could go for the old, punt the ball through the uprights for 1 point.
you could do that
Just to get
if
on the
this was
scoreboard.
the Canadian Football League.
No, I thought that was an official rule in the NFL from way back when, where you can actually drop kick the ball, and if it goes through, you get 1 point.
It's 3
they've
points.
done that recently.
Is it still 3 points?
It's 3 points.
Yeah, it's just like a field goal.
Yeah. Same thing as a field goal. What happened? Why am I favored to win now all of a sudden in this league? I don't understand. Oh, because Dak Prescott did so bad. I'm playing against Dak Prescott.
But does he have more than Joe Burrow?
6.3 points. Probably not too far away.
2.18 is what Joe Burrow got for me today.
So this guy started the Cowboys defense. The Cowboys defense scored 37 points against me. Dak Prescott scored 6.3.
In our league, the Cowboys currently have 45 points against
And they
me.
deserve. But seriously, that's what this sort of defensive performance deserves, right?
I don't,
It should be-
as the victim of it, I agree entirely.
It's 40-0 right now.
Yeah.
Like, do you know how hard it is to shut out a team?
The first
In the NFL?
the first two scores of the game are by the defense.
Yeah, but the Giants definitely choked on that opening drive.
So I think this is
fumble
one of these things where I'm favored to win, but I've already locked in the win because I think I have Garrett Wilson left and I'm leading. So I think I'm 100% going to win this game no matter what. Uh-oh, Natalie's starting our grill, so I guess that's where okay, can you guys carry the podcast like you were
absolutely.
earlier?
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
think we'll be able to manage.
We can hold the weight on our shoulders.
Yeah, don't worry
I
about
just
me,
Think
dog.
too bad.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
think of how quickly this game turned. The Giants' opening drive, they were running the ball down the Cowboys' throats. Cowboys can't
I
stop
wouldn't
them.
necessarily agree with that at all.
Oh, well, from what I heard on the radio, it sounded like they were saying they're getting 15 yards, 10 yards, 10 yards, 10 yards, and then they fumbled.
Like the first drive, Saquon really did have a rhythm going.
Yeah,
And I mean, he really was ripping them off.
And
But
then
since
then it turns, like, that-
it's over. They stopped giving it to Saquon because they fumbled the football, and technically it wasn't a fumble. It was technically ruled an interception, but it was definitely the fault of Saquon Barkley. The reason that pass got intercepted.
Yeah, but that's what I mean is like that first drive, it went from they had momentum, and then it literally a botched play, and then a blocked,
And then
and then it
been
just
nothing.
all of a sudden they're
Absolutely-
down 6-0.
Absolutely no production since that point in time. So,
It is so much
that's what
fun to watch.
happens. And then, the weather, I wouldn't say it was worse, bad all game, but it's gotten, progressively worse as the game goes on. Now it's, pretty torrential rain out there.
They should be scoring something.
That's definitely going to affect the passing game that
Yeah.
has been non-existent all night.
But then
Just
that means you
because
should be
Daniel
leaning to the
Jones
run
hadn't
more.
had any time to throw. He's been flushed
There's a
out.
flag.
Been forced to
There's a
scramble
flag.
due to either the pass rush.
Another
It's-
fucking scramble.
You
Or
should
the-
score at least some points because you've been going for it on fourth down the whole
Well,
second
yeah,
half.
the point of the game is to score points. You should
Yeah.
score some points,
Yeah.
yes. And it really terribly insightful there.
Thank you. It's very, very hard to shut out in the NFL, so I hope this score holds.
Yeah, and that's what Jamie was talking about earlier about the 45-point fantasy performance. Like, how often does this happen?
Yeah, no, good. I even as the
A
person
defense
going
scores
against that
2
45
touchdowns,
points.
multiple forced fumbles.
I mean, I'm kind of in a
Defense
position
scores more
this
points
week.
than their actual team did.
Yeah,
I would really
how
love it if
often
we
does this
were-
happen? It's like those fantasy points have to be made up somewhere within the collective players on the team. So if
It would
they,
benefit
if the
me more
offense-
personally if they
the-
lost points per sack. this
Right, of
week,
course it
but,
would, because you're
I
playing
want
them.
I want it to be.
But if the offensive players aren't producing
him.
for the other team, then the defense should be producing. You shouldn't just have, we had a great defensive performance. Now the net production of the whole, like the net fantasy production of the entire team, i.e. the Dallas Cowboys, should be 0. But you had a great, incredible game. Why should your fantasy production be 0?
No, I'm with Jamie. This game's about to turn around.
You got to pull Daniel Jones out of this game.
I don't know. I don't think you
How
can do
wild would
that.
it be if they pulled Daniel Jones and then they started scoring?
That would be hilarious.
No, you can't pull Daniel Jones at this point in the game.
Well, they're making a
If you-
statement.
if you
They're
didn't-
making a statement now, so they got to stick with
if you
him.
didn't pull him down 33-0, you're not going to pull him down 40-0.
They're just going to be like, we're handing off the rest of the way.
And then you're going to be like, is there a quarterback controversy in New York? And then they got to
yeah,
answer a
they'll
bunch of
run with that.
questions. And
Who is
like,
the backup quarterback in New York?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought Daniel Jones was the backup.
I would have said that they get a bye week against the Cardinals next week. But Cardinals actually played better than they were supposed to today.
They played all right.
Josh Dobbs started for the Cardinals today?
Yeah, Josh Dobbs started. I think Michael Wilson had a pretty decent stat line.
Connor did pretty well for me. I mean,
Why are you
not
throwing
great,
the
but
ball?
He did what he's supposed to for once.
Like, am I just an idiot and I don't understand NFL as much as I think I do? Like, wouldn't anybody else just be running the ball to get the clock out?
Just end the game. I think
Yeah.
they're trying to score. That's the only reason you have Daniel.
They're
that's what-
saying we're not changing our scheme.
That's the
but
only
keep
reason you
going.
have Daniel Jones still in is you're trying to score. You're trying to not get shut out.
Yeah,
at
you just
home.
want, it's a pride issue against your rival.
And I honestly appreciate it. Like, hey, let's probably not try to get shut out at home. That's probably a good idea.
Some late game points if you got any of the Giants.
Yeah, I
on.
appreciate it.
Junk time.
But to go back to this fantasy football matchup, I have more points than him. Oh, he has Breece Hall, who's questionable.
And that's for tomorrow.
For tomorrow.
I'm also against Brees Hall, who's questionable. Looks like he is going to play, but might be more limited than.
Already reported that he's going to be limited, which honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he's inactive tomorrow, either healthy inactive or. I would love to play another game.
Yeah, we're playing.
Oh my God!
Oh, big
So
hit.
with the
All right, maybe
Giants.
we get Daniel Jones off the field now.
We have a fire outside.
Yeah, I would love a fire outside.
Has everybody on the defense got one sack on him today?
Oh, you want to get my speaker out for outside? I
7
love that
sacks.
I may need to run an errand at some point.
They're trying to go for like Joe Burrow numbers when he went to the Super Bowl. And
Tell
let
you
him
off
get
the air.
sacked.
It's a mafia situation. Look at him. Look at that guy. Do you think he's not in the mafia?
If they don't settle on Aquaman 3 negotiations tonight, he's not going to get paid.
Yeah, the film's not coming out December 22nd.
Daniel Jones got sacked.
They
back to
jumped, I think they
back.
jumped early
Aquaman: The
on that.
Lost Kingdom. Go see my movie.
These aren't even the. These are the second stringers for the Cowboys. These are the starting Giants. Offense.
Versus the second string defense.
and they just got 2 sacks back to back, probably with a holding call of the decline here.
They jumped early.
Offsides.
Yeah.
Defense cheated. So
Yep.
that's why Daniel Jones
They still let him go sack it.
an unnecessary hit. Yeah, he was offsides, and they gave a free hit to the quarterback. Good job out of the referees. Absolutely hilarious.
It wasn't unabated, so that's why they didn't do it.
But
I guess.
honestly, referees, we've also checked out of this game too, so don't
Don't feel bad.
don't blame you for letting the Cowboys take a cheap shot at Daniel Jones. But Hey, let's make this is the
If you
this is
did-
the
they
NFL.
actually have been running 3 or 4 extra seconds off the clock every time.
That's how you do it. Take this.
They took a scroll. Oh
Another phone call.
no! Fumble on the play.
Giants did recover this.
Literally laughable. Literally a laughable performance out of the Giants.
Well, it's like when they start to do anything, it's immediately done with like buffoonery.
The clock-
Literally.
The clock
It's like
is down to
they're
1
running it
minute
up the
right
middle
now.
and they slip on a banana peel.
And they're the new Lions of the NFL. Welcome.
You wish, dude. You
I'm
wish.
The
I
next
wish. I wish that
25 years are going to be dark. So strap on in.
it's been happening to the Yankees too. So we're due.
And they're signed. They're signed up with Daniel Jones. Not that this is Daniel Jones' fault in any way, shape, or form, but they're strapped into Daniel Jones as their.
It's just like a small like.
He's been hitting his receivers right in the numbers.
As much as I
every
think
single
Daniel
game.
Jones is a nerd, I think he is the one highlight of this team right
That
now.
orange is okay.
Yeah, they got away from Saquon early on, which was obviously a massive
That's what I was
mistake.
like. Any of us would have gone. Keep handing the ball to Saquon.
Just keep handling. Like, hey, if we lose by 40 points, hand the ball to Saquon 40 times, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, it's better than this.
It definitely is better
Well,
than
like,
this.
why does Daniel Jones have more rushing yards than Saquon right now?
Does he? Is that true?
I maybe.
There's
being
no
a
way
little-
that's true.
It's got to be close.
I doubt that it's close.
He's got definitely more carries.
A lot of those.
I guarantee you, though, the opponents, the Cowboys, are going to be running the ball a lot
Daniel
more.
Jones passes it deep to a wide open receiver, almost
Yeah, for the
intercepted.
Cowboys. Oh wait,
Sometimes
Yeah, wide open safety.
they're playing prevent defense right now, so there's going to be that some gap in there
P.S.
where they're
Justin Hall plus 791,000% in pickups.
Talk
Puka
about your
Nacua
Browns.
number 2 in fantasy football.
82
Sleepers.
yards. Ugly,
Wow.
ugly game for you, sir.
They're showing Joe Burrow's disappointing performance in the rain against the Cleveland Browns defense with Jim Schwartz.
McCaffrey was my dude today. Honestly, I was surprised that Debo got as many touches as he did.
It's,
Why are you
Debo is,
surprised?
How many
is the
touches did
49ers.
Debo? Wait. What were we looking for
Devontae
before? Saquon?
Saquon versus
Saquon
Jones.
rushing yards versus Jones rushing yards.
What did I say at the start of this game?
I don't remember. Remind us,
I
Raiden.
said that Daniel Jones is going to be the leading rusher of this game. What was?
You did say that. Saquon's got 51 rushing yards. Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones has 43 rushing yards.
It's close, dude.
He's
What
got
did I
a
say
chance still.
before
He's got
that?
a chance.
51-43.
Okay, so you're way off, Raiden, you idiot.
This game's not over.
He's got a chance.
Yeah.
Deuce Vaughn is in. I think this game's over. He's going to run the clock out with Deuce Vaughn. Giants aren't going to take a timeout, really, right? There's no chance.
Daniel Jones will be like, I need
And
3 more
Jones
hits.
only has one more attempt than Barkley too. So most of those are him scrambling and running away from the defense.
Yeah, this is. I can't remember more disappointing. Because usually when it's a bad primetime game, we see it in advance. We see it on Tuesday, and we're like, hey, this Thursday game, this Monday game's going to stink. I thought this game was going to be good.
Everybody expected this game to be at least entertaining.
I don't know what you're talking about, guys. It's very entertaining. I don't understand words like disappointing and not
If you're a
entertaining.
Cowboys fan, you're having the time of your life right now. This is best case scenario.
Yeah.
Look at that shitty skyline in New York where this game isn't even being played.
I can't believe Iron Man lives there.
Yeah,
how bright Times
they were
Square
across the river from where the stadium
To be
is.
fair,
That's
they
New
always,
Jersey to be.
To be fair, they always show the Dallas skyline for Cowboys games, even though it's in Arlington.
Live from Arlington.
I feel like they should just show Six Flags. That would make a lot more sense.
They should show
Yeah,
Texas
yeah.
live right now. They're
Yeah, and they
pumped
Globe
up.
Life Field.
Yep.
Looks like
I can't wait for Jets fans to take over Texas Live after the Jets absolutely slaughter the Cowboys at home next Sunday at 3 o'clock.
Is that your prediction?
Yeah, I'm going to the game. I'm going to wear an Aaron Rodgers jersey. So
You're going to the game or to the live next to the? You actually got tickets to the game?
I actually got tickets to the
That's
game.
cool, man.
I got tickets to the Lions game in December, and I got tickets to the Jets next week.
Dang. And you're in comedy, you say?
I'm a chiropractor.
He cosplays as in comedy. He's
Like, I got into the wrong field.
Shitty tickets. Cheap tickets. up in the upper Bowledge area world. I'll be watching from the Jumbotron. Deuce Vaughn running the rock. 1 minute, 52 seconds in the game.
They just went right through that 2-minute warning. No celebration of it at all.
They didn't even go to commercial break. They're like, we're not even going to try and sell any ad space for the rest of this game. 40-0. What a miserable existence for the New York Giants fans for at least 1 week. Playing the Cardinals next week, they'll have a bounce back week. I wonder what the spread is going to that game. I wonder which way it'll bounce.
That's one that feels like you could make some money betting against
The Cardinals?
or betting for the Cardinals.
I bet it'll be a lot less of a reaction than you would expect after getting blown out at home in the rain. Imagine this game getting delayed, though. Imagine we had lightning delay in this game, and then we had to come back 39-0.
Yeah, that would be pretty bad.
It might not have been like.
I think the league would call the game.
Like the DeMar Hamlin
7-run
situation,
rule.
but like the whole team is dead.
Yeah.
I can make that joke. He's alive. He's fine. He's playing in the NFL. Everyone's
Yeah,
alive.
no, I'm just mad you beat me to the joke.
You can make that joke regardless. I don't give a fuck.
You beat him like you got beaten that.
I almost made the same joke, but I was about to say the wrong player because I always said Tua, and that's not correct.
You almost say Denny Hamlin?
He just had a lot of
Same guy.
concussions.
Oh, Miles didn't laugh because I beat him to the joke. So that makes sense. Okay.
So in the league that I played in last year, the number one team all year was beating the person that ended up winning the league in that game, but then that person ended up overtaking right before that play happened, and she won that game, and she got in the
Really?
playoffs by one game, and it's because of that one, and she ended up shocking the world by beating everybody in the playoffs and winning
the
it all.
world?
Shocking
That's a quiet
the world.
You don't know how big
Fucking
of a
man,
fantasy.
Yeah, man, why do you just assume the worst about
Did
me?
you ever see that show, The League? It was
Yeah.
a documentary about their fantasy league.
Even though the whole series came out before last year.
We have a taco in our dynasty league, and it's a problem when you have a taco in your dynasty league because it's a super flex. You can start 2 quarterbacks. He has 1 starting quarterback, and he started Travis Kelce this week. He has Kelce and Kittle and Cooper Kupp. And he has 1 starting quarterback who's Kirk Cousins. And me and a few people have been lobbying to get him kicked out of the league for several months. And there's like one guy who vouches for him, like, hey, I know this guy. Like,
It's his brother.
He'll pay his dues or whatever. Like, but we just have a guy. He doesn't interact, which we have like 4 people who don't like really interact hardcore in the comments section. In
Is that the backup?
Yep.
the Tyrod Taylor
Rod Taylor.
getting a shot.
Also getting some. He might also catch Saquon in the rushing yards.
I think I will troll. Should I troll my trade partner who gave me a 1st-round draft pick for Daniel Jones in the offseason by just posting that trade to the group chat?
Yes.
Thank you. I'll do it.
I think you should come up with a list of things that you could have you could draft with that pick that would still be better than Daniel Jones.
It might literally turn into
And name all other 31 starting quarterbacks.
It might turn into Harrison, honestly, from the Ohio State Buckeyes. Harrison scored like 2 touchdowns and got like 200 yards this past game.
You lost me. I football and I play fantasy.
It's going to be a mid-round pick, which will turn into a premium quarterback. This draft class is coming up is a lot better than this past season. So
Why are they still playing?
Blaine off microphone just said, "Why are they still playing?" Which is a good question.
Yeah, honestly, there should be a mercy rule in football.
They do have to play until the end of the
If this were Rocket
regulation.
League, the New York Giants would have forfeited
So-
right now.
What I would
GG
like,
the rules of the
what I would
NFL.
like is like a whole stat of every
the
player who
absolute
touched the
best.
field for the New York Giants and how much
extenuating
money they made
circumstances.
for the game today.
How much
finish
does
the
loss
game.
cost? How much does it cost to go 0 to 40?
Yeah.
It's usually a metric
you
of
know, this will be
time.
the
In
game.
this case, it's a metric of
Should
money.
be over.
All right.
Yeah, they're gonna walk on.
That's why they promoted the fire department to
10
have somebody
seconds.
put it out.
Okay. And this has been What Are We Talking About with Jamie Jake's live stream, Cowboys versus the Giants. Please subscribe if you're watching. Which, why are you? There is somebody watching. Yeah, stop it, dude. Subscribe. Good night.